wet weather, they eliminated the introduction of the players along the foul lines today. And I can see why after the 45-minute delay, get right into the ball game, because you never know when something might slip in here again. And Bert Blyleven is running to the mound. He'll be getting in his warm-up passes to his battery mate Ed Ott. That infield's going to be throwing the ball around. Stargell and Garner on the right side, Foley and Madlock on the left. The outfield of Milner, Moreno, and Parker left to right. The coaches for Cincinnati have taken their places. Ruts Nixon at third, Ron Plazas at first. And as the Dutchman kicks the dirt away, some people see that happen, probably don't realize that ground crew fills it in, Nellie, and as a starting pitcher, you like to get it just the way you want it.
Well, they certainly do, and the ground crew, as they do fill that in very flat with the rubber, you need that hole, and if it's slick right against the rubber, you can slip.
All right, we're going to look at him on the field up close. Willie Stargell at first base, number 8. The captain of the Bucs, whose home run won the opening game in the 11th inning. Dave Collins will be leading it off. He is 3 for 10 in this series, driven in 1 run. The year, 3-8. See, Collins 318 as a switch hitter. He and Knight tied for the club lead, but Collins didn't bat nearly enough to qualify. Collins with 3 homers and 35 runs batted in. He's not happy with his bat handle, evidently. Going to go back and work on it a little bit as Ed Ott continues to take the warm-up passes from Bert Blyleven. It's 335 to the foul poles at Three Rivers, 375 to the power alleys, and 400 to center. The big sign out by the wagon gate in straightaway center field. I would say dimension-wise, for pitchers and hitters, this is a fair park dimension-wise, isn't it?
I would say so. Symmetrically built. There's no real advantage in this ballpark, and the hitter has to get a good piece of the ball to hit it out, and conversely, there's still room enough in the alleys that if you don't hit it real well, then the ball doesn't carry and you can make it out. Very fair park.
All right, we're ready to go as Blyleven looking at Collins off to the right side. Collins studying Blyleven, and we'll remind you that this copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the Pirates solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Pirates is prohibited. And as we get ready to go, I want to thank Nellie Briles and Ellie Alexander for coming by in the booth. Doug Kennedy down in the truck, George Christensen and Brad Rashford. All the features that were supplied, and we were able to stay right with you from the regular time right up here to the opening pitch, and we hope that you enjoyed it. Collins is ready. Blyleven takes a look at Willie Stargell, then looks in to get the sign, and we are ready for the opening pitch of the third game, and here it comes, and it's fouled off. We're underway. Strike 1 to Collins, will be followed by Morgan, and then Concepcion. Collins stepping back a moment. Went after Blyleven's first delivery. They play him as an off-field hitter when he bats left-handed, and that is a strike, and it's 0-2. To the Buck fans who saw the Bucs do so well in Cincy, then greeted them at the airport Wednesday night, now ready to vocalize in person. No balls, 2 strikes. Boy, didn't miss much with that one, did he?
Certainly hasn't, and so far in 3 pitches, he's thrown 3 different pitches. He started him off with a fastball, came with a changeup, and now the curveball. No way that Collins can be looking for any certain pitch.
1-2 from the Dutchman. Hey, brother. Right now, Blyleven and Ott wish the guy with the mask and the blue suit would widen his strike zone. Joe Morgan is the on-deck hitter. Dutch got a big chew going today. Bouncer. Garner. Second to first will do it. The first out has been recorded. Collins out, second to first. Phil Garner to Willie Stargell. And there's old Scraps at his best year, and he makes the throw on the first out of the game. Joe Morgan has gone 0 for 7. He did not have a typical Joe Morgan year, but maybe Father Time took a little bit of that toll, plus some nagging injuries. Hit .250, 9 homers, 32 runs batted in. He had 3 of his homers this year against the Bucs. Ball 1. 3 of 9. That's too high a total for one guy against one club. And he hit them when they hurt. Fouled up this way. Nellie, where's your glove? You didn't have it on, but you could hear it hit. It hit iron. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 away. Collins bounced out to Garner to start the action. Joe Morgan's the batter. Concepcion will be next. Opening inning. Game 3. Bucs won 2 extra inning games to come home with the lead. Change up in there. Boy, that was beautiful.
Certainly has, and Bert has not used that pitch in his recent starts, and he has come out throwing all 3 of his pitches and blending them well. Looks like a good day for Bert Blyleven.
1-2 to Morgan. There's a high fly ball down the right side. Stargell, Garner, Parker. Who's going to have the right away? The captain does. Backpedaling near the line, and it's 2 away. Stargell went a pretty good distance for that ball.
Well, he certainly did, and as he was going down, Garner was saying, well, I've got it, but big boy, if you want to come back and take it yourself, you've got all the room in the world. Willie backing up and making an easy play.
All right, Dave Concepcion, the shortstop, will be coming out. He is 4 for 10 in this series. For the year, had an excellent year. Everybody knows how he can play with that glove and with that great arm at short, but he contributed a lot with his bat. He drove in 84 runs. He had 16 homers, 281 average, scored 91 times. The big bender out of the zone that time, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Foster would be next. Opening inning. Blyleven against Concepcion with nobody on and 2 down. Popped one in there that time. Boy, he's going right with the Spalding guide here today, isn't he? Throwing all the different speeds, changing a little, moving it around. And it is 1-2.
That's that unhittable curveball. If he has it working, it's almost impossible to hit when he keeps it down in the strike zone.
We have a couple of guys in this club who might rate 1 and 2 depending on which day they're pitching in curveballs, and I'm talking about Donnie Robinson, who threw a nasty one the other day. That's, oh, they thought they had him struck out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this was the fellow that Robbie threw that unhittable curveball to the other day. That might have been a 90+ mile-an-hour breaking ball, and that's really something.
Bert Blyleven and Don Robinson could throw 2 of the hardest curveballs that I've ever seen thrown. It's no wonder their arm doesn't come off the shoulder when they release a lot of them in a row.
2-2, and a liner into left center for a base hit. Got that ball up for Concepcion, and he just swung right where it was.
Well, he tried to come back, change speed, and throw that changeup, but like any other pitch, if you get it up and over the plate, the hitter is able to adjust with it, and being the good hitter that Concepcion is, started to commit himself and then kept his bat back, able to stay with it and hit a line drive up the middle.
So the first hit of the game recorded as Milner threw it back in. Concepcion getting his 5th hit. That's the most in the series so far. Foley leads our club with 4. George Foster, the batter. Probably a little sticky around that mound, and we'll probably see this scene reenacted many times today.
This is a situation where some pitchers like to go to the long spikes that some shoe manufacturers provide for you. It enables you to get down into the clay a little deeper and give you a little surer footing.
George Foster, even though missing a month, had a big year. 302, 30 homers, 98 runs batted in. In this series, 2 for 6. One was a 2-run homer. Chases Concepcion back because he is a base-stealing threat. He stole 19 bases this year.
Well, he has, and he's done that in the series so far. So we have to keep a good eye on him, but do not lose your concentration on Foster.
No balls and 1 strike. The Orioles will be in Anaheim tonight. Tanana. This is a very big game for Tanana tonight. Almost lunged at one, but laid off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stargell holding against Concepcion, and we're going to get a look at that last pitch.
Burt trying to throw that hook in there, and you can see him looking all the way down and thought he might have had it in there, but it wasn't to be.
Stayed a little tight. Came back with a good Swifty.
He has, and I've got to give a lot of credit to Ed Ott right now. He is forcing Blyleven to change his speeds and move that ball in and out and establish himself on that mound so that the hitters can't be looking for any one thing.
That may be part of the longer meeting that we talked about during the rain delay. They had a chance to go over it a little more. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and time has been called. Foster stepping out. He's pretty good at that. He likes to bother that pitcher.
Yes, he does, and it's part of his timing too, because he doesn't want to get in there and stand too long. He'll back in and out.
1-2 to Foster. Good stop of that ball going down and away by Ed Ott, and that'll level at 2-2. 2 away. Runner first, Concepcion. Superstition never bothered him. He's done well and always worn 13. 2-2. Blyleven working in the opening inning. If you notice something new, the beard is gone. Time called again. Blyleven's been around long enough that shouldn't bother him. Concepcion leading off at first with 2 away, opening inning. Bouncer deep short. It'll take a great play, and they do it at second on a force. Beautifully done by Foley, and it's a Foley-Toledo at Pittsburgh. Going way into the hole, firing to a stretching Garner. A fantastic play, and the side has been retired. For the visiting Reds, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave a man, and our battling Bucs, the champs of the East, are just now coming into bat. All right, as Mike Lacoste warms it up in the center of the diamond, we'll place his teammates on the field for you and look at the Cincinnati defense for this one. And we'll go to first base for number 22, Dan Dreesen. Joe Morgan, number 8 at second. 13 is Davey Concepcion playing shortstop. Ray Knight, 25 at third. Their outfield shows Cesar Geronimo, number 20 in center, flanked by 15, George Foster in left, and Dave Collins, 29 in right. And the battery mate for Lacoste is bench number 5, and Lacoste wears number 51. Lacoste is a very fierce competitor. It might be that he'd be pressing a little here today after the second half that he had. And I know early in the year when a couple of things went wrong against us, almost lost his cool out there. He doesn't like bad calls, especially on ball and strike calls. And if a play happens and the field seems to upset him, this is no day for him to have one of those tantrums.
Well, it certainly isn't. You hope that the last part of the season taught him a little bit about battling back and going through some rough spots. And then the Cincinnati Reds hope that he has matured and can handle his first championship game.
We might see something going on here that we're not fully aware of, Nelson Bryles. And that is, well, time's just been called here. Morgan digging some dirt out of his spikes. Lacoste may have had some trouble warming up because Freddie Norman is already throwing in their bullpen. All right, Omar Moreno, 3 for 10 in the series. Takes a ball. Bench looks right back as much as to say, are you kidding me? Bench right there trying to stick up for his young right pitcher, right?
Certainly did, and the ball looked like it was a pretty good pitch, and I'm sure he turned around and said, how can you miss the first pitch of the game when my pitcher's on the mound?
There's Norman that I was talking about, already loosening. Might be something going on with this right-hander. Fouled off, or it might be this. If he got off to a slow start and McNamara's back is to the wall, and with Parker, Stargell, and Milner in the 3-4-5, he may want a left-hander ready in case we start something in a hurry.
McNamara has no room. He cannot afford to go with anybody. He has to win today. There's no tomorrow.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fouls it off to the left side. They play, as usual, in left and in center over near the line and shallowed up a bit. Their right fielder moves over into right center. Lacoste with his 14-8 record, a 3.50 ERA, started 32 games, completed 8 of them. Dave Parker over in the on-deck circle He is not the on-deck hitter, but I got a feeling Foley's back in there doing some equipment work. But you got to have somebody in that on-deck circle. Oh, boy, that didn't miss by much either. 2-2. Omar had the good eye that time.
That's a good hard sinker that we were talking about from Lacrosse. You're probably going to see quite a few of those pitches today.
2-2 with nobody on and nobody out as the Antelope leads it off in the bottom of the first. No score. Line foul up here to the left side. Holding it 2-2. Here's the lanky right-hander and the way he brings it.
Boy, and you said it correctly. He is a lanky right-hander in the form of Keeson and Tekulve.
Fouled off again. So spoiling him here.
You know, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if manager John McNamara of the Cincinnati Reds didn't take Lacoste aside earlier today and said, hey, Mike, you're my pitcher today, but I hope you understand that the moment you get in trouble, we have to have somebody going, just so that Lacoste doesn't take offense to somebody warming right away.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, that almost took his batting gloves off.
Omar started to go out there and get a pitch, and he didn't have to go too far because it was right at the inside part of his blouse.
And that's going to fill it. Here it is. Watch this bear in on him here.
There it is. Don't commit too early, Omar. You might have to get out of the road.
A payoff is due. The fans are clamoring for a base runner. They just got one. Moreno is on with a leadoff walk. And by fouling him off and making Lacoste continue to thread the needle, worked him for the base on balls.
He certainly did, and that's exactly what John McNamara does not want. He wants the team to help, and when the starting pitcher walks the opening man of the ball game, you're asking for a lot of trouble.
Especially with the base-stealing champ at first base. And about as good a number 2 hitter as there is in the business getting ready to step in and Foley.
Certainly got a lot of recognition, maybe MVP candidate for this series. The recognition that he sought for in his 10-year career, I think, is finally coming to him.
All right, Moreno with the lead. Let's see if they put something on in a hurry. Just a lob over. He's got a better move than that.
Yes, he does, trying to set Omar up a little bit. First of all, just let him know he's there, but he's trying to set him up for that good, quick move to first.
Foley is 4 for 8 in this series, 2 RBIs. Crowd wants Moreno to run. He's going to. Bench's throw will never be in time. It's a stolen base for the Antelope. Here it is again. But Moreno clearly stole it on the pitcher.
He certainly did. A nice slow turn. Bench comes out and makes a pretty good throw, but the speed of Omar beats the play easily. Even if the throw had been on the other side of the bag, Omar just turned it on, gives it a Superman slide, it's in there easily.
Concepcion went out to get the ball. He can't ever bring it back in time going out to reach that bar for him. So we got a runner in scoring position. Now Foley with the opportunity to get him over to third for the Cobra, who is in the on-deck circle off to the right side. Bunts at first base side. It'll bend off the line foul, and the count will even at 1-1. So Moreno retracing his steps, going from third back towards second. And here it is again. He bunts it. He deadens the ball all right, but he just got it too close to the line, and it wouldn't stay fair for him.
Well, he didn't. When you're trying to sacrifice, you don't have to try and get it really close to the line. You just want to make sure you get it down, know the first baseman, and how he can field and throw. If you just get it down with it, deadening it a little bit, it'll be successful.
And he also knows he's got a right-hand throwing first baseman. He's going to have to turn if he gets it down to him in order to throw Moreno out. A bouncer towards short. Throwing to third. Bad throw. Safe everywhere. Concepcion turned the play on Moreno, but he threw the ball too high. Knight had to go up and get it. Couldn't come down to make a tag. And it's safe at first and third.
Concepcion trying to throw on the run and lob it over Moreno's head. Got the ball up way too high. Omar safe at third, taking Knight out on the play. And on the play, Foley safe at first. But we see Omar going in. Whack, takes his legs right out from underneath him.
And here it is again. Now Moreno was running immediately. I got to believe a good throw would have been bang, bang.
It would have been very, very close. And Omar went to third only because it was a slowly hit ball. And Concepcion was pulled up a little bit with Foley hitting, but just made a bad play. I don't know if a good throw even gets him then. Omar had a pretty good jump on the ball.
He was running immediately. All right, runners on the corners for Parker. So a walk, a stolen base, and a fielder's choice have put the Pirates in business in the opening inning. And here's our leading hitter, Parker, 310 against the Reds this year, hit 3 homers. In this series, he has had 3 for 9 and driven in a run. He drove in the winning run in the Wednesday game. One ball, no strikes. Norman continues to throw in the Cincinnati bullpen down in the right field corner. A fly ball with any depth can get Moreno home. He's only about 85 feet away right now. Foley's at first. 1 ball, no strikes. A big rip, foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's very important now for our base runners to be very alert. They do not want a line drive double play out to take them almost out of the inning. So Omar's not going to have that big a lead at third, nor is Foley at first.
Because they know a base hitter, a fly ball is going to get you 1 home anyway. You can afford to be a little more conservative on those bases right now, and that's a ball to make it 2-1. Runners on the corners as you see Foley and Moreno. Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. Morgan coming in trying to settle the youngster down a bit. Norman's been throwing ever since Lacoste went to the mound. You got a feeling that John McNamara will have as quick a hook as you can have here today. Stargell's on deck. Parker's waiting. 2-1 pitch. High foul bending way down the left side into the seats. Anxious souvenir hunters waiting to grab it. That'll make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. During the year, we were 4-8 with the Reds. Did not do well at home, which is an oddity. We finished 1-5 in the 6 games. We'd like to stop that string right here today in the most important game so far in this 79 calendar baseball season for the Bucs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball. Left field. Foster is there. Remember, he got a speed merchant at third. They'll send him home. The throw will be late, and it is 1-2 Pirates. Moreno has scored. Sacrifice fly and an RBI. Now that was hit about, you're going to look at it, he's about 280 feet down the line.
He was, and without Foster being able to get behind the ball and get enough momentum to come into the ball and make a throw, he had to almost make it flat-footed, and with the speed of Omar, he beats the play.
Here it is again. He just didn't get much on it either. Kind of dribbled in the bench. And Captain Willie, as you would expect, gets a great hand here. A love affair with a city and an athlete. Right here with Stargell and the Buckrooters. And that's a ball to the captain, who is 3 for 7 in this series, including the big home run with 2 on that won the opening game. He hit 2 of his home runs this year in a total of 32 against the Reds, drove in 82 runs, ended up hitting 281. Foley's at first with 1 out. The Pirates lead 1-0. Crowds him. 2 balls, no strikes. So Lacoste hasn't given up a hit, but he's still behind 1-0. You've joined us a little late. They got a hit in the first inning out of Concepcion, but that was the only problem Blyleven had. Now the Bucs have got Blyleven on top. And a 2-0 to Stargell. Bouncer first. Foul. Dreesen was by the bag, but it's a foul ball.
Umpire Frank Pulley at first made the controversial call for us in Cincinnati. A call that finally went right for the Bucs. We had one, remember, the Lacey play that went against us against Cincinnati earlier in the year. We finally got one for us.
And they just showed the other part of the controversy. Collins in right field. The 2-1 to the captain. Center, it'll be easily playable by Geronimo. just didn't get under that ball enough. Hit it on the button, but right at the center fielder.
Well, he did. Willie got a pitch that he liked, just wasn't quite able to get his hands completely through the ball. Hit the ball pretty well, but dead at the center fielder.
So Tim Foley still at first base. Concepcion, the shortstop, who made a play that certainly helped the Bucs in this inning. And you can see that it's not a typical summertime game here today. A little heavier clothing feels good. Milner 0 for 7 in the series. Ball one. Milner with a .276 season average, 16 homers and 60 ribbies, and he hit 2 home runs during the regular year against the Cincinnati staff. Foley at first, 2 down, a run is in. Opening inning, 3rd game of the championship series. Well, he's really trying to work that outside corner to Milner. Hadn't been able to get that call. And Foley, who reached on a fielder's choice, standing by Dreesen at first base. And the radio side, Lanny Frattari there with his producer, Harry O'Toole. 2 balls and no strikes. Ball 3. All right. There's the old group. I must be there somewhere. I'm hiding behind the TV set. There I am. 3 balls and no strikes. Foley edging but not going. Ball 4. Second walk of the inning. Johnny Bench as Milner reaches first with Coach Al Monchek. Bench wants to talk to the young right-hander. He was doing it, taking advantage of the time that he was digging the dirt out of his spikes. And here's the Mad Dog. Boy, did he come on with a rush. It's so many things other than swing a bat that everybody knows is potent. The last month, played some great third base, stole some big bases.
He has, and what he has done to our ball club is what they got him for. He took a lot of pressure off our left-handed hitters. We used to see a lot of left-handed pitchers. You're looking at one right there in Freddie Norman. Now it doesn't matter, left or right. We got some poison for you either side.
Matlock finished at .298 and takes a ball. 14 homers and 85 ribbies. The RBI column was the highest of a career that's been a good one with the Cubs and Giants. Bill Fisher, the pitching coach, along with Tom Seaver. Ball 2. Lacoste. Now there's Foley at second. He'll come off to that lead. Milner at first base. And Bill Fisher is not going to wait any longer. He's not coming out to get him, I don't believe. But he is going to try to settle him down if he can. I've got a feeling that as long as Norman's been throwing and the fact that Ed Ott is on deck, Lacoste might be looking at the guy he has to get.
Well, that's certainly true, and we have scored a run and set up more just by walks. We haven't got a base hit yet. We scored a run, and this is what Mike Lacoste has to do. He's got to settle down just a little bit, and I'm sure Fish went out, said, hey, now come on, you got to settle down and get this final out, otherwise you might be out of here.
Two on, 2 out, a run in. 2-0 to the Mad Dog. Ball 3. Lacoste may be digging himself a hole that he can't climb out of. And Norman, he's warm. It's just a matter of when do they want him. Ball 4. The bases are loaded with Pirates. And we haven't had a hit yet. That's the 3rd walk of the inning, a fielder's choice, a stolen base. Somebody thinks the Bucs are number 1, huh? He represents the whole crowd, that guy. Well, McNamara surprised me here. I thought with the importance of this game and the position that the Reds are in, if he lost Matlock, we'd see Norman facing Ott. Now Ott, who's been swinging a very good bat the last 2 weeks, has a chance to really give Blyleven some breathing room.
Certainly does. A base hit here can break the game open for us.
Fouled on the screen, strike 1. Ott hit .273, 7 homers and 51 ribbies. Came along this year as a good, sound big league catcher. And the Buck Brigade is here. They don't miss many. I think everybody that brought a banner this year brought him back for the playoffs. Stadium walls are full of them. The Buck Brigade, and the one that says if it's Ott, it ought to be good. We like Ott a lot. John McNamara, the concerned manager of the Reds. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moreno started the inning with a walk. Stole second, went to third on a Foley bouncer to short, and Parker got Moreno home to make it 1-0. Bucs are trying to add to that 1-run lead right here. High fly ball left field. Foster drifting back. He'll go onto the track. That's where he'll catch it, and the side has been retired. So Lacoste got out of it in pretty good shape for all the trouble he had. Pirates get 1 run without a hit. There weren't any errors. There were 3 walks, and 3 Pirates were left. So we have played an inning. Milo Hamilton and Nelson Browse with Pirate TV in the playoff championship series from Three Rivers today. And after the first inning, as Blyleven heads to the hill, he's got this lead. Pirates 1, Reds nothing. Hey, Pirate fans, if you've enjoyed this great season of Pirate baseball and want to be a part of the Buccos 1980 season and guarantee yourself seats for the 1980 World Series and playoffs, then you should consider becoming a Pirate season ticket holder. The Pirates offer many different types of plans, such as full season, night games only, Sunday games only, and a new general admission season ticket that's so reasonable, I bet you anybody can afford it. Why don't you call 323-5080 for further information, 323-5080. As we go to the second, Johnny Bench, Dan Dreesen, and Ray Knight are due against Blyleven. Bench hit .276 during the regular season, 22 homers and 80 RBIs. We did well with him the first 2 series, but the last 2 he caught fire and really hurt us, especially with his long ball bat. He hit 3 against us.
And that was just about the time we caught him on his second half tear, when physically he mended very well. His back became more supple, didn't give as many problems, and he started hitting that long ball against us.
Bench in this series is 2 for 8, and in late innings of the first 2 victories for the Bucs, got Bench when we needed to get him. Ball 1. Colby really went after him the other day, didn't he? Well, that Bench had an interesting quote on him. There's a strike. He said, you know, normally I go up, I've got about a 30% chance to get a hit. Says against Colby, it drops to 5%. Quite a tribute to Teak from a pretty good hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bench leading it off in the Cincinnati second. Blyleven working with a 1-0 lead. Broken bat sounded like left center, still went quite a ways. Moreno's going to make the play, and it's 1 away. I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad the bat cracked. If it went that far with a bat that didn't hold up, he might have gotten that all, but the bat didn't handle it.
And I'll tell you, with the cooler weather today, as Omar Moreno goes over, backed up by John Miller making the catch, it's going to be a little colder on those hands today, and it'll be a little tougher to get those hands coordinated and popping the bat. The temperatures dropped here somewhat, so there might be a few bees in the handle today if Blyleven can get the ball inside.
Dan Dreesen 1 for 8 in the series, hit .250 for the year. Liner right at Straps. He picked it clean. He looked right at the umpire to see, and he said, yep, you got it. So that is a line drive to Garner, and Dreesen is out. Straps went right down on the artificial surface here to keep that one right in his glove. And this is Ray Knight, the fine rookie third baseman. He can take a major bit of the credit for getting him here, because if he fails in the spot that they put him on when Rose left, they're not playing in this series.
He had to not only do it offensively, he had to also do it defensively at third base, and he responded very well.
In this series, he's 2 for 10. For the year, he ended up hitting .318. He was their leading regular. Lined it to left, and that will drop in and go by Milner up against the fence and come back on the track. That ball was hit so hard it actually hooked away from Milner. I think when he came over, it looked for a moment like maybe he was a little in between, then thought he was going to play it on the first bounce, but that ball was hit hard and just simply zipped right by him.
Well, it was, and we have to take one thing into consideration today, that an outfielder can almost commit himself, but then keeping in the back of his mind that it is so slick today in that outfield that even if he lays back and short hops the ball, his chances of catching it are slim. So go ahead and try and make a wild scoop. It's only going to be a double anyway, as John knows. Picks the ball up, throws it in, and indeed it's only a double.
And we're only in the second inning. Geronimo 0 for 3. Hit .239 for the year. Hit 4 homers, drove in 38 runs. During the year, Pirate pitching did a good job on him. Held him to 5 hits and 30 at-bats. And he's gone 0 for 3 in the one game that he played in this series. Ball 1. Second inning. Blyleven looking at the number 8 hitter, Geronimo. There's nobody in there on deck circle. So I took a little peek to see their bullpen. Nothing going there. Ball 2. Now, Bert would like to get Geronimo and end this inning because he'd love to look at Lacoste as a leadoff batter in the third. There's the intensity of the Dutchman. That pitch, he can be glad, was where it was. A foot lower, Geronimo might have jumped on it.
Geronimo, it doesn't look like it, but he has good power when he gets his pitch to hit. And he's a cripple shooter. You get behind him and throw him a hanging curveball or an off-speed fastball, and he can definitely hurt you with it.
And they've got a tying runner in scoring position in Knight, who doubled with 2 away. There's a fly ball out into right center. It's going to hang up long enough for Parker to get to on the edge of the track, and the side has been retired. Geronimo gave that ball a pretty good ride, but it got up in the air and died here. Parker was able to get right back to it, made an easy play. It's no runs and 1 hit, no errors. The doubling Knight was left. We played an inning and a half. Game 3 in the championship series. Pirates 1, Reds nothing. As we go to the bottom of the second, Lacoste will look at Garner, Blyleven, and Moreno, and this is it for the fans at home. Alfred R. Melzer, M-E-L-Z-E-R of Pittsburgh, is going to play Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes here. And Mr. Melzer, you can root the Bucs home here during the bottom of the second. If a home run is hit by a Pirate, you're going to win $700 worth of Giant Eagle groceries. We passed out a few groceries this year, haven't we?
Well, we've had some good jackpots, some good winners, and I tell you, the home runs have all come at very opportune times, so it's made everybody happy.
Here's Phil Garner at .293 for the year. There's Garner's gang. The Garner gang banner and the big red mustache and Yosemite Sam, they're all his. Showed bunt but took a ball.
Some wild bed sheets missing out there.
1 ball, no strikes. Garner leading off in the second. 1 ball and 1 strike as he gets a piece of that inside corner. Blyleven will be next. He's already on deck. There's a line drive single into right field. That ball got through Collins. Garner's headed for second. He's going to try for 3. He's digging. He'll make it without a play on him. Scrap iron is in at third. Play in front of him. The minute he saw that ball go by Collins, he knew he had a chance to get to third.
Certainly did, and just as Collins misplayed a ball in Cincinnati with a wet turf, he also does it here on a wet turf, not allowing enough room for that ball to bounce out in front and play him because it's so quick. Ends up on third base with nobody out.
And that is scored as a triple. It's the Pirates' first hit. Blyleven got a chance to bring him home and add to the ante here. The comebacker won't get him home with that. So the throw from Lacoste to Dreesen, and Blyleven is out. He hit the ball hard, but right back to the pitcher.
Good reaction by Lacoste. Catches the ball and checks the runner, first of all, so that he knows right where he is. If he makes the mistake of breaking home, he's got him dead to rights. He turns, catches the ball, checks him. Garner goes all the way back to third, then he turns and nails Blyleven. Good reaction by Lacoste.
You know, there's a play that there's Norman already throwing again. He's thrown as many pitches as Lacoste has. You know, as sharply as that ball is hit, you know how some pitchers fake with runners at first and third when they're pitching and act like going to throw to third and then throw to first? Almost the reverse would be worth the gamble there, because even if you turned twice, you know you'd have a chance to still get the runner. If you acted like you were going to go right and didn't bluff him back and then whirled, even if you look back and he didn't go for the bait, you'd still have time to get the runner at first.
You can, and with the pitcher running it, it's very possible, but in a championship series, usually you don't try and get too fancy.
And another ball to Omar, who walked in the first inning, stole a base and scored. And Omar's amigos are here today. This is great. Johnny McNamara showing some concern. He's probably looking at some charts right there because he wasn't looking at the action. Infield is still up all the way around for the Reds. The Pirates leading 1-0. Omar trying to make it 2-0 with Garner at third with a triple and one down in the bottom of the second inning. Ball 3. Moreno is batting for Alfred R. Melzer of Pittsburgh as we play Giant Eagle home run sweepstakes. Infield up, they're right into that line that points it out to you on the artificial surface. 3 balls, no strikes. He walked him for the second time, and that's walk number 4 given up by Lacoste. And Tim Foley will be the batter as Moreno reaches first again. There's Joe Lynette, our third base coach, the old Beaver man, talking to Phil Garner at third. They may be buying some more time here, though. I would think if they were going to make a change, it might not be here with Foley as a right-hand batter. They might hope that he could get Foley to hit into a double play and get out of an inning, or at least get him one way or another, and then maybe bring on the left-hander, because after Foley, it's Parker, Stargell, and Milner all batting left-handed. I got a feeling that sun's trying to break through back there, as light as it is out on that left field wall. I don't know how you can make it bright in a hurry. Foley, get somebody home here.
They also, Milo, had to be discussing what they want to do in the event Omar steals. Do they go ahead and throw the ball through, or do they want to cut it off with a Speedy Garner at third base?
Well, they think he might be trying to do something as he tosses over that way. And you'll take a look at the runner at first. Remember, Garner is at third. Foley the batter. He was safe in a fielder's choice in a key play in that first inning. Runner not going at first. Way high, almost threw it over bench. 1 ball and no strikes. And Foley now wants to come back and work on the bat handle.
Show the intimidation of the speed of Omar on first base. Lacoste that time actually didn't even take a leg kick. He just gave it a limp leg and went straight home and almost threw the ball away and messed up his timing just a little bit.
In the event that Moreno is going, the real key as to whether it's successful for the team putting the play on is the runner at third. He's really got to judge his distance up that line. There's a fly ball to center. That should be deep enough to get Scraps home. Geronimo is there. They'll concede the run, I would think. He can't throw him out from there. Never could. Sacrifice fly and an RBI for Foley, who gets his third run batted in of this series. And the reception committee there, and there are some happy Pirate fans. So Tim Foley, and as Nellie Briles suggested, first time he came up today, he's trying to make a bid for that MVP trophy. Played the good shortstop. He's had 4 hits and he's driven in 3 runs. But I've got a feeling that when it comes down to it, when the Bucs do clinch this thing today or whenever, that it'll be just like all of the season. We'll have several candidates. Parker, the batter, he got a run home in the first inning with a sacrifice fly. The Pirates leading now 2-0. Not close at first. Giant Eagle contestant with a bona fide home run hitter up there now. Parker is Alfred R. Melzer of Pittsburgh. $700 worth of Giant Eagle groceries riding. Throw over. Whoa! Dreesen really had to dive across Omar to keep that one from going down the line. Moreno isn't up yet. He really had to sprawl to get back, not knowing that the throw was going to be up that high. And then I think Dreesen had to really do an adagio act to keep from falling on him. Moreno edging a little, trying to bother Lacoste. The throw over, and he has to dive over him again. This kind of a situation has got to help Parker. Here's the throw over again.
Not really that good a move. He's just trying to keep him close over there, but I can understand why he's throwing that ball that badly, because he's not really trying the pickoff move.
Still no count to Parker. Moreno edging, not going. Ball 1-0. Isn't this a chance for Parker to really gamble and guess fastball as much as he seems to be thinking about Moreno?
Well, definitely, because Lacoste is even having trouble throwing his fastball over, and if there's one pitch he's trying to throw over, it's going to be the number 1.
Now it's ball 2. And Johnny McNamara has seen enough. The first-year manager, not in the big leagues, but of the Reds, is on his way, and he's going to pick up Johnny Bench on his journey. They are headed to the hill. Lacoste has struggled from the opening pitch when he walked Moreno. Same inning he walked Milner and Madlock. Gave up a triple to Garner to start this inning. Walked Moreno again, and Lacoste is through. So Freddie Norman, who did not figure to get a start in this championship series, designated as their long man today, and he's coming on in a hurry.
Well, he has, and Norman, who we thought might start because he had such a good record against us. There was a change of mind. They went with Lacoste, who struggled the second half of the season. The biggest reason that they didn't put Norman in is because the balance of our attack has done so well here the second half. Madlock being able to hit, and then a Foley and a Garner. We've got that balanced attack, so it doesn't matter left or right-handed. With Norman coming on this year, this is going to be his first appearance in the championship series and his 35th of the year. He had 34 on the regular season. He was 11-13 with a 3.65 ERA and did not gain a save anytime in the bullpen. See him trucking on into the mound, inheriting a semi-jam situation, and he's behind 2-0 on Parker, so he definitely has his work cut out for him. He has to really come in and throw strikes. Getting last-minute instructions from McNamara. John pleading with him, hey, our backs are to the wall. You've got to definitely do the job for me now, Freddie.
Well, when he comes on, it'll be a direct contrast to the fellow that he just replaced, won't it?
Well, Freddie doesn't have that real good fastball anymore. He relies primarily on an off-speed curveball, a good screwball, a little changeup, and then after he sets all of that up, he'll sneak that little fastball by you.
Norman, who had a lot of labels on that suitcase in both leagues before he found a home in Cincinnati, and that's where he's done his best pitching. This year, Norman against us was 2-0. Had a complete game victory over in Cincy in the first game of a doubleheader. He worked 30 innings with one complete game, 14 hits, 10 runs all earned, walked 6, struck out 8. The second game that he won, which was here on the 24th of July, Bear saved for him. We've hit some home runs off of him, Nicosia, Parker, and Madlock. Won his 100th big league victory on September 6th, so he and another veteran lefty that you might recall, Jim Rooker. Waited a long time to get him. Both got him this year. Now remember, when Norman is ready, he will inherit a 2-ball, no-strike count on Dave Parker. And Alfred Melzer of Pittsburgh, we haven't forgotten you. You're still our contestant on Giant Eagle Home Run Sweepstakes. All right, the Cobra's ready to step in, and Norman is kind of kicking at the rubber a little bit, getting things to his liking out on that hill. Now, he's definitely got a different spot that he'll follow through on, because That's a Mutt and Jeff replacement there. So Freddie Norman, a little finessing left-hander, will start behind on the count 2-0. He goes over to first, and it's not close. Parker, the batter with the 2-0 count, got a run home in the first with a sacrifice fly. Foley got a run home in this inning with a sacrifice fly. Moreno scored run number 1, Garner number 2. 2 balls and a strike to the Cobras. Stargell on deck, then it'll be Milner. 2 away in the inning. Pirates leading 2-0, and bright sunshine now in left field and in that upper deck. Omar Moreno, he's got a full stride out on that carpet. Norman's going to chase him back. I'd have been very surprised if he hadn't gone over there again, because he really almost dared him there.
If he doesn't, Omar walks into second base. Freddie took a double look at him, saw that Omar had a tremendous lead, better than Omar normally gets. Omar's going to go right back and get it again.
There's a high foul fly. Looks like it'll bend over to the left. Third baseman Knight will look at it, but it's up about 10 rows, and it holds at 2-2.
You talk about the difference on the mound. Mike Lacoste was 6'4", weighed 190. Freddie Norman is 5'8", so you know Freddie's not going to be stretching out where the 6'4" man did.
All right, Omar, and you'll see a lot of the players. You saw him stamping his feet on that carpet because in the skinned off part of that infield, they are picking up some dirt, and it's sticking in those spikes.
That's the radar gun that so many scouts use to see how fast a pitcher is pitching.
All right, 2-2 with 2 down. Norman looking right at Omar. 3-2 to the Cobra. Captain Willie Doo up next.
It's the only spot where 55 is not the speed limit. If you're only going 55, then you aren't going to make it very long in the big leagues.
Unless you really know where to put it.
And it's a big knuckleball.
All right, let's see. He'll be going here naturally. 2 out in the full count. There goes Omar. Swing and a miss. So Norman comes in and strikes out Parker. Have to settle for 1 run. On 1 hit, a leadoff triple by Garner. Foley got him home with a sacrifice fly. There was a walk and 1 man left. We've played through 2. No home run was hit during this Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning, but no one ever loses here. Our contestant, Alfred R. Melzer of Pittsburgh, will receive a certificate for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and in addition a year's supply of Daly's juice products redeemable at your grocer. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes today will be worth $800. We'll go to the 3rd with the Pirates 2 and the Reds nothing.
Arrangements with the Pirates for this telecast. The announcers for this game have been selected by station KDKA-TV, subject to the approval of the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Club.
We'll go to the 3rd, and their second pitcher, Norman, who came on and struck out Parker, will be leading it off. Then you go up to the top of their order with Collins and Morgan. Now it's beautiful here in Pittsburgh. So it was worth the wait. Looking over into downtown Pittsburgh, where the Bucs are trying to get everybody ready to celebrate this day, and they're leading 2-0 at the moment. Why not make it a big Friday night in Pittsburgh, huh?
Boy, it would be a big weekend, wouldn't it? Send them out of here to either the West or the East Coast. Big championships. First World Series since 1971. Fantastic.
Bullseye. Norman hit 153 this year. He drove in 6 runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moreno plays him shallow and a little toward left center. Milner shallows up on him and a little toward the line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See if Dutchman's got him measured for his first K-jab today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Norman replaced Lacoste. Yeah, he had him measured all right. Brings him up. Strikeout number 1 for the Dutchman. Bucs are playing in their good luck uniforms here today too. They've done well at home this year in the pinstripe. Here is Collins, the right fielder. In the first inning, he bounced to Garner, so he's up here 0 for 1. We're in the top of the third inning. The Pirates have scored 2 runs on only 1 hit and lead 2-0. Strike 1. The Reds have 2 hits. Concepcion in the first, Knight in the second. Shortstop, couldn't get the glove down, scooted right under it. So Collins is on, and he is a speedster. See how they're going to score that. Looked like he got to it, but didn't get the glove down.
Yeah, he came up, just kept the glove up a little bit. As you can see, the water coming off the ball, giving an indication of how wet that outfield is. They scored it a base hit, Milo, but it just seemed that the ball skipping on that water, Tim was trying to judge the bounce, and as it got to him, the ball stayed down a little bit, and Tim didn't get down with it.
Joe Morgan, the batter. Now with a 2-0 ball game. Let's see what they do with Collins. Pirates are out in front. They now have 3 hits compared to 1 for the Bucs. He's not going anywhere there, and Morgan hits one a mile in the air down toward their bullpen area. So a high towering foul fly. Parker came over to take a look.
According to our sign and right, we have a new man running for president. Willie the Starch.
I think he'd carry Allegheny County, don't you?
Oh, my.
Bouncer right side, Stargell right there. No play at second. He just took a quick look. Got the sure one then at first. So Morgan is out. Stargell unassisted, makes it 2 away in the inning, and you move Collins to second base. Concepcion will be the Cincinnati batter. Pirates got a run in the first, a run in the second. They're in front 2-0. They've taken advantage of some walks and a high throw by Concepcion on a fielder's choice and a couple of sacrifice flies, and have jumped in front. Pittsburgh Pirates 2, the Cincinnati Reds 0. A couple of thrilling battles in Cincy at Riverfront. 2 extra inning victories for the Pirates. Ball 1. Concepcion had a base hit in the first inning. It was his 5th. He is the only player on either side to have as many as 5 hits. Came right back and got it where he wanted at that time. A little better location, got the call, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Foster is their on-deck hitter. Reds are batting in the third in the short end of a 2-0 game. Oh, the 2 pitches that have been balls on this particular at bat for Concepcion, Blyleven is just missing. Good hitter with men on base up there for them right now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Check of the runner. That ball smothered. Now throw to third base, but not close enough to the bag to get him. Kept a run from scoring, though. Great effort by Garner. That's the 4th Cincinnati hit, and Concepcion gets his 2nd hit today and his 6th in the series. And what an effort by Scrap Iron, and enjoy it again.
Boy, I'll tell you, ball had base hit all over it, but with 2 out, Phil knew I just have to knock the ball down, keep it from going into the outfield, and the run can't score. And alertly, he did that with an all-out effort. You had seen him fall on that ground, slide on the wet turf. Collins had to scramble like crazy to get back in, even though Madlack was off the bag. And if alertly Nixon doesn't hold him up, Scrap Iron might have been able to nail him at third, rounding the bag.
Because I got to believe Collins, when he went away from second base, had thoughts about coming home on that ball. But the coach helped him, as you pointed out, and now here is Foster. In the first inning, hit into a force play on a great play by Foley. So runners on the corners, 2 away. So the Reds threatening here in the third against Blyleven. Boy, what a rip he had.
Boy, he does. George would like to have that pitch back. He just didn't quite get around on it in time, but that's more or less in George's power alley. He likes that ball from the waist down.
Strike one the count. Blyleven in a situation here where he does not want to make a mistake on a hitter like Foster. Collins third, Concepcion first, 2 down. Strike in there on there's old Uncle Charlie again.
Boy, beautiful pitch. Not only had great deception, but it had great location. And these are the type of pitches that Bert Blyleven is going to have to make to get out George Foster.
And here it is again. Look at the bend in that river. 0-2. Whoa, brother. Some of the folks behind the screen were trying to help the plate umpire make up his mind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foster is tough with men on also. He had 20 game-winning RBIs for the Reds this year. That led the league. Bounced foul left side, holding 1-2. New supply baseballs coming out for the plate umpire. So George Foster, a tough hitter. Check his stats over the years. Those RBI columns are usually loaded. And when you miss the time he did this year and still have 98. All right, Blyleven stepped back up on that hill. Collins, third base, second base empty. Concepcion at first. Blyleven trying to protect a 2-0 lead, and Foster steps out on him. There is a part of the game I do not believe with. I say that there ought to be something done that when both are ready, neither one should be able to do it, especially once they're both set in there and then that hitter steps out all the time.
You hear so much of pitchers slowing down a game. A hitter slows down the game also. When a pitcher doesn't pitch quickly, well, sometimes a hitter does really not bat quickly either.
1-2. All right, Blyleven took that hot setting up outside. Oh, he got him. Beautiful breaking ball. Strike 3 ball. Second strikeout of the inning and of the game for Blyleven. A beautiful pitch and a great hitter. Shut the door on Foster and the Reds. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave a pair. We're in the middle of the third at Three Rivers. So far, so good. Pirates 2, Reds nothing. There are plenty of good general admission seats remaining for the 1979 World Series games to be held here in Pittsburgh. The series begins here on Friday, October 12th. That's a week from today. It's an 8:30 game in the evening. Continues Saturday, October 13th at 1 in the afternoon, and on Sunday afternoon, the 14th, at 4:30. Tickets are going fast, so you stop by the Pirate ticket office right here at Three Rivers Stadium, only place you can get them, and pick up yours. In the bottom of the third, Stargell, Milner, and Madlock. That might be a little look into the future. He's going to get some votes. Is he ever? And the fact that the spotlight was on our club those last 2 weeks and all those guys in from around the country who vote, he had to pick up some support. Strike from Norman, who came on in the second and struck out Parker in relief of Mike Lacoste. Smashed it. Look out, Al Monchek. Strike 2. Willie Stargell, the Pirates' all-time home run leader. And the fans here know it too. No balls, 2 strikes. Couple of veterans here head on. Norman on the mound, Stargell in the batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Norman is also the type of pitcher that does not throw his screwball to left-handed hitters, and that's why sometimes he has more trouble getting out left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters.
There's a drive. The ballpark will never hold it. It's going, and at the club level, a towering home run. Superstar, Super Sergeant, and bombs away in Pittsburgh, PA. Swing.
Look at that power, the follow-through, and the moment it leaves the bat, Willie knows where it's headed. Freddie Norman has to know, too. He made a bad pitch, and you just watch where he sees it go and lands way up into the mezzanine.
The crowd asked for and got another salute from the cap of Willie Stargell. They wouldn't let him sit down in that dugout. Pitch to Milner is a ball. 3-0 Pirates. Stargell's second home run of the playoff series. His 3-run homer in the 11th inning Tuesday night won that game. Boy, are we getting some mileage out of 2 hits, 3 runs, and we're leading 3-0. The 1-0 to Milner. Started after it, laid off, 2 balls, no strikes.
That was very typical of the type of home run that Willie hits. They're just majestic.
Yeah, there wasn't any doubt the minute the crack of the bat told you, and then one look at it going, yeah, it was gone. John Milner hit a couple of grand slams this season, and he's having a little trouble getting his bat going in this series. He's 0 for 7. He walked the first time up today. Fouled back. Bench throws the mask away, coming to the edge of the track in front of the screen, and it's 1 away in the Pirate third. Milner popping up to Johnny Bench. That's going to bring up the Mad Dog, who walked in the first inning. Matlack batting with nobody on in front of him and 1 away. And Ed Ott on deck as you looked into the dugout. And there's a drive way back into left. That one's going, gone.
Out to greet him, Milo. Everybody out there knowing that it takes as he takes another bow, recognizing the cheers of the fans. He just got all of that ball too, and Freddie Norman now is not being particular. Gave it up to a lefty and now is giving it up to a righty.
Oh, this crowd is really buzzing now. And they're going to get their bullpen working again. Right-hander looks a little like Sarmiento. Joe Morgan concerned right here. Sarmiento in their bullpen. Maybe it's Soto. Ed Ott will be the batter. 2 home runs in the inning. One of the big moments for Ed Ott was in that great comeback at Philadelphia on a Saturday afternoon. And he took Tug McGraw to the hitting background in right center with a Pirate on every base. That was one of the greatest comebacks I think I've ever had the opportunity of broadcasting.
Certainly has. We can look back this year and see so many thrills, so many clutch performances by almost everybody on that ball club. That's why the Pirates are where they are.
And the difference in the 2 dugouts. There's gloom in that one. Ball 2 to Ed Ott. A run in the first when Parker got Moreno home with a sacrifice fly. A run in the second. Foley got Garner home with one. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. In this inning, 2 more runs are on the board. Stargell hit a towering home run into the club level and straightaway right. And Madlock lined one out of here to left. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the outer. There's only 1 away in the inning. So 2 runs scored against the starter Lacoste, 2 here off Norman, the reliever. And the Pirates have a 4-0 lead. We haven't enjoyed this kind of a lead in the playoff series. 2-2. Popped foul. Down the right side. Dreesen outside the lane. And it's 2 away. Ott popping up to the first baseman. That'll bring up Garner, who started the second inning with a triple that skipped by the right fielder and was able to score on a Foley sacrifice fly. Garner has hit Cincinnati pitching to a fare ye well, not only in this series, 4 hits. There's a foul up here to the right side, but he hit over 380 against him during the regular season when he had 13 for 34. The 0-1. Line drive to a leaping first baseman in the side has been retired, but not before the Pirates set off the fireworks. The family is in front now. Home runs by Stargell and Madlock. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. And after 3 innings in Game 3, as the Pirates try to lock it up today, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates 4, the Cincinnati Reds zip.
The next 3 innings are sponsored in part by Tasty Cake. Cakes, pies, and cookies, all the good things wrapped up in one. And in part by Giant Eagle, bringing all the best to you. Boy, you talk about bringing all the best. What a jam-packed ball game, and we're only in the 3rd. The Pirates leading the Cincinnati Reds 4-0. The big shots in the 3rd, home runs by Stargell and Madlock. And now we've got Bert Blyleven with that 4-0 advantage. Nellie Bryles?
Certainly does. And now it's up to Bert to prove he can hold that lead. Back up what he has said before, that he's a premier pitcher. He's got the rest of the game to prove it.
Well, the Bucs in a situation to win the National League Championship. Still 6 big innings to go. We are glad to have you with us as we bring you the action from Three Rivers Stadium. Johnny Bench will lead off the 4th. Bench 0 for 1. He flied to left center field in the 2nd. Be followed by Dreesen and then Knight. Turning out to be a beautiful afternoon here at Three Rivers. In more ways than one. As soon as the sunshine came out, the Bucs exploded. Madlock. Stargell benches out, 1 away. Nothing. Pirates lead. We're in the top of the 4th. Totals: Pirates 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Reds no runs, 4 hits, no errors.
Madlock has to wait for this ball to come down, and so he times his catch, able to pick it as the ball jumps right a little bit, make a strong throw, and Johnny Bench trying for everything it was worth to beat the play out, but just those heavy legs wouldn't let him get there in time.
Dreesen 0 for 1 and 1 for 9 in the series. And as I said earlier in the broadcast, one of their big guns I talked about earlier, Joe Morgan, 0 for 9 in the series. The other guy got to balance the right-handers we're throwing at him. Dreesen not having a good series, 1 for 9. And line foul on the left side. Part of the excitement and the flavor of this championship series. Pirate Parent going through his first National League playoff and thinking about the possibility of being with the Bucs in the World Series. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Dreesen caught looking. Blyleven, third strikeout, and 2 away in the Cincinnati fourth.
This is a beautiful curveball that Burt can throw when he's really on. Had no chance. Dreesen had no chance to try and handle that ball in any way, and it was in a good spot too, right in on his hands.
So with 2 down, Pirates leading 4-0, and Ray Knight the batter. Knight with a double in the second, and a base hit through the right side. Burt got the pitch in on him, and able to battle it off and got the single through the right side. So Ray Knight gets his second hit of the game and his 4th hit of the series.
This is in all forms of the word a true check swing single, as you're going to see. That bat doesn't even get all the way through. That's usually a called strike, but it just happened to be placed in the right area, and with a slick turf, Phil Garner wasn't able to make a play.
Well, Cesar Geronimo will step in. Reds have 5 hits. Pirates leading 4-0. Geronimo 0 for 1 in the game and 0 for 4 in the series. Broken bat, ground ball, foul, strike 1.
That was a different kind of a check swing. The bat this time went in the area of first base, second base.
Pitch away, too.
Right on the end of the bat, and was able to snap it off right in his hands. This cooler weather, that has to sting a little bit.
Willie moving out of the way of the fat part of the bat as it came down the first baseline.
Said it was not a double play bat.
Not going to get that man. All right. Geronimo stepping in. Pirates in front 4-0. A run on the first, a run on the second, and then the solo home runs by Stargell and Madlock in the third. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. The 2 home runs in 1 inning ties the National League record. 2 home runs in an inning by a club had been done 5 times previously, including once before by the Pirates. We did it against the Dodgers October 8th in '74 in the first inning of a ball game. The American League record is 3. Back in 1970, the Baltimore Orioles had 3 home runs in an inning against Minnesota. No balls and 2 strikes on Cesar Geronimo. He bats with Knight at first base and 2 down. Goodbye. Struck him out. Blyleven with 4 strikeouts. He got 2 in the third. He's gotten 2 punch outs here in the fourth. And for Cincinnati, no runs, 1 hit. The big strikeouts of Dreesen and Geronimo. We play 3.5. Bucs lead the Reds by 4, and we'll be right back.
It's a long drive, going, foul. If your transmission's gone foul after a long drive, see your local AMCO dealer.
This is it. You can root the Bucs home during this half of the 4th inning, and the sky's the limit for Vincent Bekovich, Braddock, Pennsylvania. A home run is hit. It's worth $800 in our Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning. All right, Vince, let's see if we can't get you the long ball. And stepping up to the checkout counter here in the 4th, Bert Blyleven, Omar Moreno, and Tim Foley. Well, we got the long ball in the 3rd from Stargell and Madlock. And both home runs jumped out. There was no doubt about either one of them. Blyleven 0 for 1. Pirates leading 4-0, bottom of the 4th inning. Game 3, and the Bucs looking to make this the deciding game of the series. Shot through the left side. This club's fired up. Came out early. This crowd that had to wait 49 minutes because of rain. They were fired up from the start.
Burt just gets a good pitch to hit, and if you throw a pitcher that kind of ball, even he can hit it. So Norman made a big mistake, gave Burt a fat pitch, and he took advantage of it.
Blyleven is on. Al Monchek conferring with the Dutchman at first base. That is hit number 4 for the Pirates. And now for Vincent Benkovich of Braddock, Pennsylvania. Omar Moreno has walked twice, stolen base and a run scored. Freddie Norman came on in the second. Now working here in the fourth. Parker get a shot here in the inning. He'd follow Foley, who follows Moreno.
This is something Omar is going to work on all winter this winter. He's not only going to learn to sacrifice a little better, he's also going to work on dragging and pushing the bunt so that when he gets tired, instead of having to swing for base hits, he can drop that ball down and take advantage of his speed.
Bouncer in front of the plate on the bunt. Bench will fire to Morgan. And with the sacrifice going 2-4, Blyleven moves down to second base. Johnny Bench, the premier catchers in the National League.
Does a fine job, gets that bat head right out there, drops the ball down, forces the catcher to come out of the chute and throw him out. And Bench knew that Omar was running, and he really gunned the ball. Lackadaisical move on the part of Bench. Omar might beat the play.
Blyleven in scoring position at second base. Foley 0 for 1. Foley with a sacrifice fly that drove in our second run in the second. And he's batting for Vincent Benkovich of Braddock, Pennsylvania, in our Giant Eagle playoff championship jackpot inning. $800 on the line. And popped into right. Collins 2 away. Blyleven holds at second base. The throw got up over the glove of Concepcion, but Knight backing up on the left side of the infield. Well, with Blyleven at second and 2 away, the Reds bullpen continues to work. Left-hander is Charlie Leibrandt. And the right-hander might be Manny Sarmiento. Parker stepping in 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly in the first. Drove in our opening run, and then then Parker struck out in the second. Blyleven's at second now with 2 away. In the bottom of the fourth, Pirates leading 4-0. We're in our jackpot inning. $800 on the line. Norman struck out Parker to end the second. Do you recall, Nelly, what the pitch happened to be?
He struck him out on the same pitch that he took for a ball right here. It was that breaking ball down and away right there.
So now he's got the advantage on Norman. 2 balls, no strikes, with Stargell waiting on deck.
Maybe that's how he's supposed to pitch to him. Wait till he gets 2-0 and then come in like he did before to get him.
And fouled off to the left. Yes, indeed, it's turning out to be a very nice afternoon at Three Rivers Stadium for Game 3 of the playoffs. Reds trying to force a Game 4, and if it's necessary, it would be tomorrow night here at Three Rivers Stadium. Pirates hoping that this will be their last game of the National League playoffs and hoping that their next game will be Game 1 of the World Series. Pirates in front 4-0. Last half of the fourth inning. Led off the inning with a single. He went to second on a Moreno sacrifice bunt. He's there now with 2 away. And Dick Stello talking with Freddie Norman about going to his mouth. It might make it a 3-1 count. Not sure if he was warning him, whether he told him he went and going to charge a ball. Yep, 3-1.
Norman and Dick Stello, second base umpire, barbering back and forth a little bit as Norman is visibly upset with the call.
Norman, while on the pitching surface in that dirt area, went to his mouth, so it's 3-1. And Parker walks. First walk issued by Norman. Pirates have 2 on, 2 away. And their pitching coach, Bill Fisher, is going out. The Pirates and the Pirate fans standing in anticipation of Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell with 4 home runs during championship play. He had 2 a couple of years ago. Let's see, 1974, I think it was. And has had 2 in this championship series against the Reds.
Freddie Norman needs to get out Willie Stargell. He leads off the top of the next inning.
And the first pitch is fouled away, strike 1. What a great year Willie had. During the regular season, 31 home runs, and more, they've got to be thinking about Stargell in terms of most valuable player in the National League.
It's a big hitter for Norman to get. Again, he leads off the next inning. Plus, they cannot afford to give up any more runs. They're already too far in the hole.
Base hit. Down the right field line. Blyleven will score. 5-0. Parker has the green light. Green light back in will not be in time. Stargell doubled and the Pirates lead 6-0 over the Cincinnati Reds. Stargell has driven in 3 of the 6 runs, has 6 RBIs in this 3-game series so far against the Reds.
Boy, how often can Willie continue to do it? Time after time, getting that big base hit. Here he drives the ball between Dreesen and the bag down the right field line. By the time Collins can retrieve it, Parker has scored all the way to first. And Captain Willie Stargell, the guts of this ball club, the glue that holds us all together, our #1 leader, has indeed delivered again.
Oh, and great work, too, from our camera crew as they had the shot right down that right field line, got a good look at it. And they're going to make a pitching change. Johnny McNamara in his first year as the manager of the Cincinnati Reds. It's been a great year for the Reds, but now the Pirates have grabbed the first 2 games of the playoffs and have taken a 6-0 lead in the 4th inning of Game 3. And so Freddie Norman, after working 2 full innings and giving up 4 runs so far, is going to be lifted. And it looks like it's going to be another left-hander, the newcomer to the Reds, Charlie Leibrandt. They recently disabled Bill Bonham the first day we were in Cincinnati. And they activated this left-hander, Leibrandt, to take Bonham's spot. So while we've got a moment here and you look at the crowd here at Three Rivers Stadium, the Pirates would like to take this opportunity to extend their most sincere thanks and appreciation, Nellie, to all Pirate fans for their fine support during this 1979 season.
Well, they certainly have, and you can see that it's the 2nd highest total in Three Rivers history. I tell you, 1979 has been a great year so far, and we have a shot at making it a fantastic year. 1980 could possibly be even better.
And it really has been an exciting year, not only because of the club that Harding Peterson and Chuck Tanner put together on the field. It's been a come-from-behind ball club that's been exciting, but the crowds have been so outstanding. They've been with the club all the way, and it just adds to the drama and the color and the excitement of what happens at Three Rivers Stadium. Charlie Leibrandt, born in Chicago, 6'4", 195 pounds. Willie Stargell at second base gives us a chance, and you know, Willie for so many years now has been taking an active role in his community. Each year Willie invites professional athletes from all over the country to participate in a bowling tournament to help raise money for the Sickle Cell Foundation. And Willie's inviting the public to take part by not only making a donation, but also by joining him and other athletes on Wednesday, October the 31st at the Green Tree Holiday Inn for the auction of celebrity memorabilia and a free bowling tournament reception. The tournament is scheduled for Thursday, November the 1st at the North Versailles bowling lanes, and the public is invited. So part of the excitement of October, later in the month, the Willie Stargell sickle cell bowling festivities. Walk has been called on the youngster Leibrandt, and Stargell will get third base. Left-hander brought into a pressure situation. He made the mistake, and Willie's on the front door. There it was.
Yep, just a little flinch. He was going to go into a stretch, and then he double clutched.
Good way to put it. Milner takes ball one. We're in our jackpot inning. Stargell at third, 2 away. Bottom of the 4th inning, game 3 of the playoffs. Pirates leading 6-0. One ball and one strike. And fouled off.
Leibrandt going with his best pitch, which is his curveball, tries to spot his fastball, in and out, keep it down. But his best pitch, I should say, is his curveball.
Leibrandt, by the way, this year was 8-14 at Indianapolis. Their AAA club had an ERA of 2.94. He made 3 appearances during the regular season for the Reds. Milner, drive to right. Collins back on the ball, and he'll make the grab. So no home run during our jackpot inning. But for our contestant, Vincent Benkovic, a certificate for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and a year's supply of Daily Juice products redeemable at your grocer. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning will be worth $900. And now, after 4 innings of play, ain't no stopping the Bucs. The score is the Pirates 6 and the Cincinnati Reds nothing. So we get ready for the 5th inning. Charlie Leibrandt would be due up to lead off the inning, but Rick Auerbach's going to be the pinch hitter, and we've got a new left fielder, Bill Robinson. So Bill will take John Milner's spot in the Pirate batting order. Pirates 6, Reds nothing. Pirates got a run in the 1st, a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th.
For Cincinnati, number 23, Rick Auerbach.
Rick Auerbach, 0 for 1 in the series. He was used as a pinch hitter in game 1 Tuesday night. Auerbach on the year hit .210. 1 home run, 12 RBIs. Bert Blyleven with the 6-0 lead. Bert with 4 strikeouts, and he's come with his strikeout pitch, especially in the last 2 innings. Madlock with a high throw, but Stargell, fancy footwork, takes care of it on the right side, and Auerbach is out. 1 away in the 5th.
Well, I think Bill just wanted to show Willie that, hey, we got to get you moving around over there a little bit. Might be a little nippy, so throws the ball out a little high, but Willie finessefully takes it off the back of the bag and artfully throws it to second.
We'll go to the top of the Cincinnati batting order, Dave Collins. What seems to be the book on Dave Collins? We've seen him a lot in the last 2 games from the left side.
Left side, he likes the ball down and over the plate, prefers hard stuff. Try and throw him fastballs up as they did right there and get your breaking stuff over with him. He's a much better hitter now than he has been in previous years because he's making more contact.
1 for 2 in the game. Collins 4 for 12 in the series. Sparky Anderson, former Cincinnati Reds manager, quoted as saying that he gives Johnny McNamara and his coaches a lot of credit for the year they got out of Dave Collins. Became their #1 hitter. Of course, the Reds without Ken Griffey. Latter stages of '79. How much does that hurt a club like Cincinnati not having Griffey?
Well, you could have used Collins perhaps in center field where they haven't been getting that much production. Instead of having to use him in right with Ken Griffey being out with that knee injury, it could have made him much deeper. Ken Griffey was our natural leadoff hitter. You might have been able to do something there. Griffey being able to hit the ball out of the ballpark a little bit better. You could have maybe batted him second or third and moved Joe Morgan down, who struggled this year.
Morgan continues to have his problems. He's due up next. Nobody on, one down. Top of the fifth. Pirates leading 6-0. Garner. Backhanded stop. Goes and didn't get him. Oh, it was a close play, but Collins beat it out. Amazing thing about the play, too, was Garner really unloaded in a hurry. But Collins beat the rap at first. Garner.
Go ahead. I was remember talking to Phil earlier in Cincinnati when a Detroit Tiger scout said that they would take a lot of other second basemen over Phil Garner. He demonstrates here why he feels that he's as good as anybody in the game. Demonstrates so. Again, goes way in the hole and makes one of the fantastic plays of the game.
Made a big play back in the third on a Concepcion ground ball. Garner prevented the ball from going out into center field and kept the Reds off the scoreboard in the third. Instead of it being a 2-1 ball game at that point, it stayed 2-0, and the Pirates got 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and lead 6-0. Joe Morgan, rumors have it that he's going to play out his option with the Reds. Could be playing in his last day in a Cincinnati uniform. Top of the fifth. The base hit for Collins, his second of the game. Cincinnati now with 6 hits in the contest. No balls and 2 strikes on Morgan. 1 away. Reds are down 6. You expect them to be running in this situation?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think that the Reds can afford to gamble on an out. They need every out in every inning that they can possibly get. So they can't be gambling, and that's why Willie is not holding him on.
Morgan, first player in Major League history to hit 200 home runs, steal 600 bases. Facing Blyleven. And Burt strikes him out. 5 strikeouts for Blyleven, and all 5 have come in the last 3 innings. Now 2 away in the 5th.
The luxury about having a good lead is the fact that you can just go get him and challenge him with your best stuff, and that's one of Burt's best curveballs of the game. Breaks it right off the table, right down and into Morgan. The deception of the speed enables Morgan to be way out in front. Good pitch by Blyleven.
Dave Concepcion, 6 hits in the series. And batting with Collins at first and 2 away. Pirates leading 6-0. Shot from our right field camera as you look in over the shoulders of Dave Collins and Willie Stargell. As Nellie Browse mentioned, Willie playing off the bag and in front of the runner. By the way, a tip of our cap to our producer Doug Kennedy. Hope you're with us at the top of our broadcast as we showed you the highlights of the first 2 games. Our whole production crew putting it together, and so well done to give you an insight as to how we got to game 3, leading 2-0. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Concepcion.
Might as well take it, Davey, because that's one that no one can hit.
One ball and 2 strikes on Concepcion, and fouled off. Collins goes back to first, 2 away in the 5th inning. You know, all the excitement of the first 2 games. We'll take a look at that pitch again from Blyleven.
Well, Concepcion doing everything he can to just try and foul it off. That ball was outside, but showing you the respect that Concepcion has for that breaking ball. Goes way out over the plate, more or less gives himself up just to foul the pitch off.
All right, Blyleven ready, 1-2 pitch, and fouled off. Something apparently popped up in Ed Ott's eyes, maybe a piece of dirt or something. Well, the first 2 games of the playoffs in the National League, really classic ball games. Stargell, of course, hit the big home run in Game 1 on Tuesday. So our entire production crew able to put together those highlights for you. Brad Risch from our studios working with our producer. There's a strikeout, and Blyleven with a half-dozen strikeouts in the last 3 innings. Before the hometown crowd at Three Rivers Stadium, the Bucs are looking to grab the National League flag in '79. We're halfway home, and the Buccos lead the Reds 6-0. We'll be right back.
And now here's a tasty break from Tasty Cake.
We're going to say it again, that if you've enjoyed this great season of Pirate baseball and you want to be part of the Buccos in 1980 for the season and then guarantee yourself seats for the 1980 World Series and playoffs, which is going to happen, then you should consider becoming a Pirate season ticket holder.
Yes, indeed, Dudley, and the Pirates offer many different types of plan. There are full season tickets, night games only, Sunday games only, and a new general admission season ticket plan that's so cheap anyone can afford it. If you'd like more information, call 323-5080 for further information. That's 323-5080 to find out how you can be a part of the Pirate family for 1980. Mario Soto is the new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Mike Lacoste started, Freddie Norman in the second, Charlie Lebrand in the fourth, and now Mario Soto in the fifth as you take a look at his numbers. And he'll be facing Bill Madlock, Ed Ott, and Phil Garner. Pirates leading 6-0. Four times previously in the National League playoffs, clubs have swept the playoffs in 3 games straight. The Mets did it the first year of the playoffs in '69 when they took 3 in a row from the Atlanta Braves. Madlock pops it into shallow right, and Joe Morgan takes charge, 1 away. Pirates in front 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And brings up Ed Ott. Scoring in the ball game, the Pirates got a sacrifice fly from Parker in the first that drove in Moreno. Then in the second, Foley sacrifice fly got Garner home. In the third, solo home runs by Stargell and Madlock. And then in the fourth, a 2-run double by Stargell drove in Blyleven and Parker. You know, Nellie, I learned something new today. I was talking with a couple of the players. The players' pool and the shares for the end of the year determined by just the first 3 games of the playoffs and just the first 4 games of the World Series. There's a line shot, foul. Didn't know that till today.
That's it, and all of these shares are voted on before the playoffs. Usually you'll have a team meeting if it looks like you're going to be in postseason play or finish 1, 2, or 3 in your division, then you do have the option of voting on who gets the money and what part of the money that they get, as Chuck Tanner was looking on to the action.
Popped left side, Concepcion going out, and he has it 2 away. So Ott pops up to the Red shortstop, 2 away in the 5th inning. Chuck Tanner, 3rd year. He has taken this club to the Eastern Division Championship, and he may be an hour and a half away from a National League flag for Pittsburgh.
He knows better than to say anything, but you can see a sparkle starting to light in his eye, knowing that any team can come back, and he's going to do anything managerially to keep that from happening.
I'll tell you one thing, the close-ups of Chuck are a lot different than the close-ups we've seen of Jim Fregosi, for example, the last couple of days. And of course, Fergosi's Angels are down 2-0 to Baltimore. Game 3 of the American League playoffs tonight. you really have to be happy for Chuck. The entire organization has pulled together and has got a ball club that is really close-knit.
Some might be wondering, in the eventuality that we were to play Baltimore, how many players are left off the 1971 World Series teams on both sides, and there are only 5. There are 3 for us. There's Willie Stargell, there is Manny Sanguin and Bruce Keeson.
All right, don't tell me the Baltimore guys. I want to see if I can guess them. We've not talked about this. Belanger would be one. Jim Palmer.
That's another one.
Is there more?
No.
Oh, okay. You acted like there was still one more. You said 5. Okay.
Ralph Salvon and Earl Weaver. If we want to go that far.
Well, and John Hallahan and Tony Barnum.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. And a full count. Nobody on, 2 down. Bottom of the 5th. Pirates leading 6-0. By the way, in case anybody jumps in, Stennett not part of that championship club. Was with the ball club during the season, but did not take part in the postseason play. And pop, get into the seats. It does. Out of play. 3-2. Bottom of the 5th. Pirates leading 6-0. Mario Soto, their 4th pitcher of the afternoon. Bert Blyleven has gone all the way for the Bucs. (6-0) Pirates lead. Payoff pitch. And skied into shallow center. Geronimo has it. Pirates are retired 1-2-3 for the first time in the ball game. So after 5 innings of play, the Pirate family has taken a 6-0 lead over the Cincinnati Reds and will be going to the 6th inning. The Reds will be sending up the middle third of their batting order. We'll be right back. Well, the Buccos are trying to prove once and for all that they are indeed #1. And pointing, of course, to the World Series, the right to meet the best of the American League. Nellie, was interesting the way everybody jumped into the booth there when we were having our little trivia quiz here. And the Pirate Parrot, who's thinking about going to the World Series, performing. But we said 5 players, 3 on each, 3 on the Pirates and 2 on the Orioles, who played for those teams in the '71 World Series.
That's right.
But there's another guy who was there too.
If you didn't miss that qualification, then people would say we were wrong. But Grant Jackson indeed did play for Baltimore and will be the only player that will have reverse roles. Provided that we win, he will be pitching against his former team, of course, being the Pirates against the Orioles. Keep our fingers crossed. Let's carry it on home. All right indeed. George Foster will be leading off the top of the 6th. 6-0 Pirates lead. And a quick look into the Cincinnati box down the third baseline. The president of the Reds, Dick Wagner, and the chairman of the board, Bob Howsam. Foster 0 for 2 in the game. As you see, he went down swinging the last time up. Big play in the ball game. I thought there were 2 big plays, really. The one that Garner made to keep Concepcion's ground ball in the infield in the 3rd, and the play that Foley made to force out Concepcion at second base on the Foster ground ball in the 1st inning. Foster, Bench, and Dreesen batting for the Reds here in the top of the 6th inning. 6 runs, 5 hits for the Pirates. No runs, 6 hits for the Reds. And that's what Bert wants to do. If he falls behind just the least little bit, as he did Foster there at 2-1, he can afford to challenge him. Even if Foster hits a ball out of the ballpark, we're still ahead by 5. So you have to make them put the ball in play.
Struck him out. 3rd straight strikeout for Blyleven, his 7th strikeout, and all 7 have come in the last 4 innings.
And this is exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to challenge him. You got to hit me now to get me out of here. Threw the ball right on by a power swinging George Foster.
Bert Blyleven. Another angle on the strikeout of Foster. Bert Blyleven, the youngest pitcher ever to take part in the American League Championship playoffs at age 19, 9 years ago. He's back here at 28 years of age in a starting role, now facing bench. Blyleven and the Bucs leading 6-0 over the Cincinnati Reds.
I think Bert knows in the back of his mind, hey, if I do it here, I can close a lot of critical mouths and saying that, you know, I can't do it, and I'm out here to do it. And he looks like he's determined to do just that.
And I think he's determined to be the pitcher that walks off the mound when the game is over. Of course, he knows that he's got a very talented and qualified bunch of bullpen men behind him. Bench had a notion. And it's a strike, 2-2. First base umpire Frank Pulley went up with the right hand.
Bench giving him a good double take look down there and asking him if he's completely sure about that call. Johnny's upset.
Nobody on, one down. Bench saying there, now that's a swing. And a look at Mr. Frank Pulley. He was the umpire who made the call the other day, Wednesday, on the sinking liner off the bat of Garner, indicating it was a trap, not a catch.
And again, as with Foster, Bert wants to make Johnny Bench put that ball in play. Challenge him with your best stuff.
And Johnny Bench has answered the challenge with a home run to left field. The Cincinnati Reds are on the board. It's now a 6-1 game. Yeah, there it is, a classic confrontation. And Bench driving the 3-2 pitch deep to left. It's now 6-1.
Well, unfortunately, Bert Blyleven fell behind in the count, taking it all the way full. Had no choice but to try and come in and challenge him. This time, he did not win the challenge. Johnny Bench did, as he has done against the Pirates in the past. Bench was the winner and scores their first run with that long home run.
One away, nobody on. 6-1, Pirates lead. Top of the 6th inning. Dan Dreesen is 0 for 2. Blyleven got Dreesen on a called third strike in the 4th and a breaking pitch in. And that's how he started him off here in the 6th inning. So Johnny Bench with the home run, his first of this playoff series. Blyleven off the hill. Fires to Stargell. Dreesen is out 2 away. By the way, a note on Bench. The home run, his 5th in National League Championship play.
It's good recovery by Bert. Came right back with his good pitches, settled down immediately, came in, fielded the ball cleanly, and gave Willie a good throw. That's the way to bounce back after you know you put yourself in a hole. Bert really seems to have his head on right today.
Left-hander Dave Tomlin warming up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Nobody on, 2 down. Here's Ray Knight. 6-1, Pirates lead. Cincinnati batting in the 6th. Breaking pitch on the outside corner. Fly ball to right, and Parker on the warning track has it. The Reds are out of the 6th inning. Cincinnati gets 1 run on 1 hit. The home run by Johnny Bench. So the Pirates have a 5-run lead as we get ready now for the bottom of the 6th inning. Bert Blyleven will lead things off, then to be followed by the top of the Pirate batting order. And we'll be coming right back to beautiful Three River Stadium after this timeout. This is it. You can root the Bucs home during this half of the 6th inning. Our Giant Eagle Championship sweepstakes inning, and our contestant is Stephen Nash of Pittsburgh. Stand by, Stephen. We have $900 in the jackpot for you if a Pirate hits a home run during the 6th inning. And pitcher Bert Blyleven gets a nice round of applause and an ovation, a standing ovation from this Free River Stadium crowd as he stands in. Pirates 6, Reds 1, last of the 6th.
Bert helped get that big 4th inning started with a base hit when the pitcher got careless and threw one over the plate with not too much on it. Let's see if he can get something started here in the 6th.
Mario Soto facing Bert Blyleven. Soto came on in the 5th, set the Pirates down 1-2-3.
This is also a point in the game where manager Chuck Tanner would almost prefer that Bert doesn't get on base. He wants him to concentrate now on the last three innings of the game, the last 9 outs, and we can start playing countdown on outs.
Ball game was 49 minutes late in starting, but the Pirates got off and running early. A run in the 1st, a run in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. And the Reds got their run in the top of the 6th inning. Pitch is down low, and it's 2-2. Mario Soto is the 4th Cincinnati pitcher of the afternoon. Jackpot inning, and Bert Blyleven batting for Stephen Nash. Look at the Pirate bat boys, Stephen Graff closest to the camera, and Stephen Hallahan. They've worked as a tandem for the Bucs all year. And a strikeout, number 1 for Soto. Blyleven out, 1 away. Well, if Chuck didn't want him on base, he got his wish.
Just as well. Let him go in now and concentrate on the rest of the order. We have coming up 8, 9, and 1 in the 7th. So Bert can go in and figure out exactly what he wants to do. Knows that there will be a pinch hitter. He can go in and start thinking about those possibilities.
Omar Moreno now batting for Stephen Nash in our jackpot inning. And the fly ball into center field that Geronimo will take care of. 2 away on the Pirates' 6th. Pirates are leading 6-1. A victory here this afternoon for the Pirates would give them the National League pennant, the championship, and the right to go to the World Series to face the best of the American League. And it could very well be that we'd have a rematch of the '71 World Series with the Pirates and the Orioles. It would start, by the way, much as the '71 World Series did. It would start in Baltimore, if that were the principles involved. Games 1 and 2 in the American League City Tuesday and Wednesday nights of next week. Games 3, 4, and 5 of the World Series next weekend in the National League City. And of course, we're hoping it's the Steel City. Soto has retired the first 5 batters that he's faced. Pirates in front 6-1. Foley batting for Stephen Nash in our jackpot inning. And again, that familiar chant for Tim Foley.
What a marked contrast. Spring training, down in the depths of despair. His shortstop job taken away from him. He was just going to be backup, asked to be traded. And traded he was, and here he is with 50,000 people screaming his name.
Well, no one would know the story better than you, Nellie. You were there when He was down and apparently out, but not so. He had always been highly regarded and come to the Pirates in the Frank Tavares deal. Center field. Concepcion out. Geronimo in. Geronimo makes the play. So no home run during our jackpot inning. But for our contestant Stephen Nash, a certificate for 10 Tasty Cake family packs and a year's supply of daily juice products redeemable at your grocer. Our next Giant Eagle sweepstakes inning will be worth $1,000. After 6 in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series, the Pirates lead the Reds 6-1.
Most ball players dream about making it to the Hall of Fame. But I'd be satisfied if people just remember me as the guy with the great chewing tobacco. That's Levi Garrett, my brand. Sure, I've tried a lot of other brands in my time, but once you taste this fresh Levi Garrett flavor, you'll see why it's one of the fastest growing brands of loose leaf chewing tobacco in the country. After all, fame is a fleeting thing, but with Levi Garrett, you're always a winner.
Getting ready to go to the 7th inning as the Bucs are well on their way to sweeping here, and we're ready to bring you the next 3 innings. They're sponsored in part by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And in part by Mellon Bank. You get a good feeling for saving at Mellon Bank. As we go to the 7th inning here, Milo Hamilton back along with Nelson Briles. With this total board, the Pirates 6-5-0 with Blyleven. Home runs by Stargell and Madlock. The Reds are 1-7-0. Their run coming on a bench homer. And they have used Lacoste, Norman, Liebrandt, and Soto. And Spillman is already on deck. He'll be a pinch hitter after Geronimo leads it off. So Blyleven is ready. He's trying to work on nailing it down, and there's a strike. Boy, as evenly as it looked like these two teams were matched, it'd really be something if the Bucs swept them. High outside, a ball, 1-1. Blyleven, although he has given up 7 hits, has been in command.
He certainly has. With the lead, he's been able to challenge the hitters, get the ball over, concentrate on not walking anybody.
2 balls and 1 strike, and although he didn't record a strikeout until the 3rd inning, he's had the old K job working since. He's got 7, and he hasn't walked anybody. The 2-1. Bouncer, that's going to make it up the middle. Leadoff single in the 7th. And that just might get our bullpen stirring. Even though you got the 5-run lead, it is the 7th inning. You've got everybody ready down there. And they might start to heat up. In fact, Don Robinson's already taken off his jacket. I asked him on the pregame on radio if he was ready. Nelly asked him on the pregame on TV if he was ready. We both got an unqualified, you betcha.
He said, hey, we got all winter to rest. He said, give me the ball. I'm ready anytime.
Spillman is the pinch hitter. Harry Spillman hit .214 for the year. No homers and 5 RBI. There's a fly ball into right that Parker will move to his right and grab. And it's 1 away. So Spillman jumped on the first pitch. That surprises me a little. On a cooler day, now the players, this hasn't happened gradually. The cool weather came in all of a sudden. For a guy to come off of a bench and not even look at a pitch against a guy who's seemingly rolling along. And look at a bullpen. You see Robinson, the right-hander, and Jackson, the lefty, jumping on the first pitch. Didn't even give himself a chance really to get up there.
Well, it's not only not giving himself a chance, but his club is still 5 runs down, and his runs really don't mean all that much. So he wants to try and get on. He got a pitch I guess he thought he could hit, went ahead and ripped at it, but lofted the ball in the air for the easy out.
Collins, the batter, he's 2 for 3. Well, we saw a real conclusive bit of evidence that he can run. Boy, that infield hit he beat out, he can fly. Shows bunt there, but we're appealing. Third base umpire says yes. So it goes on the board as a strike. Geronimo at first with a base knock, started the inning with it, knocked it right up the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike on Collins. Garner has done anything and everything here today. Diving, smothering. Boy, he has shown you some range that's been a delight to watch.
He has, and again, continued to sting that ball with his bat.
Bouncer short. Let's make it 2. Flip 1. Fired to safe. And there's Collins' speed again. There's been a lot of hitters. That would have been a DP, Nellie.
Certainly was, even though he hit the ball off the end of the bat right at Foley. Foley again making sure with this type of lead, making sure it gives a nice feed, and Garner turns the ball well, but the speed of Collins is just able to beat the double play.
Look at Scraps evade that runner and go right with that good strong throw right on target to Stargell, right where he can handle it.
Again, they didn't really have to turn it that fast. They just made sure that they got the lead runner and then go ahead and follow through, see if you can't nip him.
All right, Collins first, 2 down, Morgan the batter. Ball 1-0. Morgan, and we talked about him during the long delay, Nellie. They needed him to do something today. He's 0 for 3 and 0 for 10 in the series. Right at the captain. Sides retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time. The fans are starting to feel it now. We have played into the middle of the 7th at Three Rivers, and it's the Pittsburgh Pirates 6, the Reds 1. Well, with the theme of the Pirate Clubhouse, We Are Family in the background, we'll remind you that there are plenty of good general admission seats remaining for the World Series to be held here in Pittsburgh. Begins here a week from tonight, the 12th at 8:30. Will continue Saturday, October 13th at 1 in the afternoon, and on Sunday, October 14th at 4:30. Tickets are going fast, so you stop by the Pirate ticket office right here at Three Rivers Stadium. That's the only place you can pick them up. They've got a new pitcher on the mound, Tomlin. There's Bob Hausum, who built the Cincinnati dynasty for the 70s, and the man in the dark coat in the middle. And on the extreme left is Dick Wagner, the president head of the Reds. They don't have a heck of a lot to smile about today.
No, there isn't, and they thought maybe coming back in here where they've had such good luck this past season, they might be able to get on a start today, but it just hasn't been possible so far, as the Pirate hitters have definitely dominated, and Bert Blyleven is living up to his promise. He said, I can do the job, and he's certainly done it so far.
And the story again has been holding the Reds down. They got 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and only 1 here today. That's doing a job on a club that can score.
Certainly has been, and of course, disappointment for Cincinnati is that a couple of their big boys haven't been able to do too much, and especially today, Concepcion just 1 base hit. Morgan doesn't have any, and neither does Dreesen.
All right, Tomlin's pitch to Parker is a swinging strike. And as the family theme song played, the family, the wives of the Pirate players, were up on the dugout roof. One ball and 1 strike. So we've got Parker, Stargell, and Robinson due up in the inning. High chop. Shortstop won't be able to get it. And it'll be a base hit for Parker. His first hit today. His 4th hit in the series. So the Cobra leads it off with a single against the left-hander Dave Tomlin. And here comes Stargell, and he'll get another standing ovation.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Here was that home run earlier today that went way up in the club level in right field. That was in the 3rd inning. And in the 4th inning, he had a 2-run double. The captain leading the way again.
Just showing again their appreciation of how much the fans and Pittsburgh, everybody admires, loves Willie Stargell, knows what he stands for. No
strikes. Runner at first. That's a strike, and that'll make it 1-1. Stargell had a great year. He's having a great playoff. 1-2. He has driven in 6 runs in this playoff series, 2 home runs, 5 hits, 2 of them out of the park, and 6 RBIs. Stargell for president finally showed up on the screen. We had talked about it earlier. Willie and his junkyard dogs.
That's how they played all year. They've been scrappers.
Runner going. Bench's throw will not be in time. Stolen base. So the Cobra, look at this.
Well, we aren't that far ahead that we can't play aggressive baseball. Parker takes off when Tomlin isn't paying all that much attention to him and just beats the tag of Davy Concepcion. Looks like he had a pretty good jump, and he had nowhere but second base on his mind.
All right, a payoff is due to Stargell with Parker at second and nobody out. It's check swing foul left side. Tanner's philosophy is, now if this were back in June maybe, and you're going to have to play these guys 10 more times, you wouldn't be rubbing any salt in any wound, but at the same time, Tanner's philosophy is, and there's the skipper, hey, don't get on us when we use our running game late in a game. Fouled off, and Bench hangs on. But the crowd doesn't care. They're going to let him hear it again. Tanner talks about, hey, when somebody's beating you 8-1 and one of their big guys steps up in the 8th inning and hits one out of the park, nobody says anything. Our running game is as much a part of our attack as the home run is for some other clubs.
Well, that's right. We have to use everything that we have, and during the season, how many times do we come back? You never know when that extra run might be the one that wins the ball game.
A pop for Robinson. The first pitch he looked at, he popped up to Bench, so it's 2 away. Robinson making his first appearance at the plate. He had come in the 5th inning. Johnny McNamara's got to be realizing that numbers are running out on him. Batter is Bill Madlock. He walked in the 1st, hit a line drive homer to left in the 3rd. In the 5th inning, he popped up to the second baseman. He won't get a chance here. With a left-hand batter due and a base open, they'll walk him. So the intentional pass ordered. And then Ed Ott will be batting against Tomlin. One more wide one intentionally will do it. Then we'll have Parker at second and Madlock at first. And with 2 away, Ed Ott will be the batter, and there it is to complete the intentional pass. Ott has flied to left, popped to first, and popped to short. 0 for 3 today. Madlock ended up down at first for Al Monchek. Greets him, and Chuck Tanner, and I know his mother is watching in the hospital up in Newcastle today. And I know if they settle this thing today, that'll make her day brighter. There's one off the end of the bat toward Knight at third. He will throw to Dreesen. Ott is out, and so are the Pirates. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, a walk, 2 left. We've played 7. 2 more miles to go in order to get the Pirates into the World Series for 79. Here's the score. Pirates 6, Reds 1. All right, you Pirate fans, if you've enjoyed this great season of Pirate baseball, you'll want to be a part of the Buccos 1980 season and guarantee yourself seats for the 1980 World Series and playoffs. Why don't you consider becoming a Pirate season ticket holder? The Pirates offer many different types of plans, such as full season, night games only, Sunday games only, and a new general admission season ticket that's so reasonable anyone can afford it. Call 323 5080 for further information. Blyleven's gone the first 7 against 5 Cincinnati pitchers: Lacoste, Norman, Leibrandt, Soto, and Tomlin. We've got Robinson and Jackson already working in the bullpen. Chuck Tanner doesn't want anything to go wrong now. And a strike to the leadoff batter, Concepcion, who is 2 for 3. Strike 2.
Got to be playing countdown now. Countdown. 6 outs to go.
A little high with a fastball, and it's 1-2. Blyleven has struck out 7, hasn't walked anybody, has given up only the 1 run, a home run by Bench in the 6th inning. Just missed going into the left field pavilion. Blyleven's had the good support behind him, both with the gloves and with the bats today. And he's blended right into it with a good pitching job. Strike 3 call. Strikeouts and brings up Foster.
Yes, sir. Davey had to be guessing right here. He had to be looking for that hook that he's had going for him all day. Took that fastball right across the chest for the strikeout, and we've got 5 to go, Milo. We're now down to 5.
Foster today is 0 for 3, struck out the last 2 times. Blyleven against the Braves struck out 6 twice. Against the Cubs, 4 twice. His high against the Reds previously this year. Look at the oddity of that. 3 appearances, struck out 5 each time. In 4 outings against them now, 23 strikeouts against the Reds this year. So he's got one coming as far as a win. Off speed, high pop right side. Stargell's play to make. Squeeze it, Captain Willie, and it's 2 away. He struck out 8 Dodgers on the 29th of August. That was in Los Angeles.
That's 5 down, 4 to go.
He struck out 9 Expos on the 27th of July in the 2nd game of a doubleheader. His high against the Mets was 8. 6 against the Phillies, 4 against the Cardinals, 7 the Padres. Giants 8 was his high, so 9 was the high. He's got a chance to tie it for the year. High pop. Garner's play to make in shallow right center, and it's 3 up and 3 down.
3 to go. Number 3.
Now the crowd is really starting to count it. We're going to go to the bottom of the 8th inning, working that hometown magic with the Pirates 6 and the Reds 1.
Tonight we're brought together here by 2 dudes we all love. Good food and light beer from Miller. I want to take this opportunity myself to tell you, I don't get no respect.
Garçon, je dis saignant. Si elle est pas saignante, what is it?
Meatloaf sandwich and a light. Gentlemen, as we all know and appreciate, light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling.
But the best thing is, it tastes great.
Less filling. Gentlemen.
Hey, Deacon, pass the roll. Hey, Charlie, that's my beer.
No, yours is by your broccoli. This is my broccoli.
That's my beer.
What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, Bubba, you want the peas? Ooh. Hey, you gonna eat all that? Just showing off.
Gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to think I speak for all of us, but I say if it wasn't for light, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hey, you're for power.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
It's a long drive, going, foul. If your transmission's gone foul after a long drive, see your local AMCO dealer. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. The Pirates are in front by 5. Bill Garner's going to get a big hand as he steps in. Garner today is at a triple in 3 trips. He's had 4 hits in the series. Looking ahead to their 9th inning, they'll have Dreesen, Knight, and Geronimo. That's going to be in the right center for a base hit. Garner gets his 2nd hit of this game. It's his 5th hit in the series. And that ties Stargell for 5 hits. That's the 2nd hit off Tomlin. And here's another hand for Blyleven. Blyleven with a good chance to not only win it, but to get a root job here today, the way he's pitching. Garner gets back at first. Blyleven has had 1 for 3. In fact, he singled in the 4th and scored on a Stargell double. Another throw over, but Scraps was barely off the bag. Still no count to Blyleven. Bunts it foul up into the seats. If you're going to bunt it foul, might as well get your money's worth. Tomlin came on in the 7th. He's the 5th Cincinnati pitcher. Bunts it toward the mound. Only play is to first base. Tomlin to Morgan. 1-4. Sacrifice accomplished. Now we'll go to the top of the order. As you see, Blyleven make a perfect bunt here, Nellie.
Certainly does. This is something that pitchers work on a long time, is able to get a good pitch, lay it down, not running it out very hard, knowing that he's got the all-important top of the 9th coming up. Sacrifices Garner to second base.
Moreno's done his job in that leadoff spot. He walked a couple times, stole a base, sacrificed. The only time that they got him with no damage was in the 6th inning when he flied out to center field. Ball 1. Garner at second base as you look in from center. Fouled off, 1-1. So the Pirates in the 8th inning, leading by 5, are just an inning away of putting a flag up over this stadium to go right up there with that Steeler flag. And that's been the talk since way back in the winter when we started saying, wouldn't that be something? Two balls and a strike. The flag they'll get today, of course, is the National League flag. Then, as Pete Peterson puts it, that would be the second third of the season. He says the 162 are the first third, the 3 out of 5 are the second, and the World Series is the third. 3 balls and 1 strike. They'll be tough to keep out of there now. It points to the fact that we would open in Baltimore, but the Angels have gone home down 0-2, but they have played so well in Anaheim. I say tonight, if they can get a good pitching job out of Tanana, they could make it interesting yet. Fouled off.
They certainly can, and they have been able to score a lot of runs, so if they can get the pitching, they're going to give Baltimore a definite run for the money. Their main disadvantage is they're down no games to 2, and they have to win 3 in a row, and that's a tough road to hoe.
Nobody's ever done it since the playoffs began. All right, a payoff is due on the Antelope. Runner at second, Garner, 1 down, 8th inning. Pirates leading by 5 in a 6-1 game. Right at Knight, looks Garner back, throws to Dreesen. Omar is out, and it's 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Tim Foley as you look at Garner and Morgan chatting. Here it is again on the bouncer.
Omar trying to go the other way, as he's done a lot this season. Hits the ball right at Ray Knight, who checks Garner, throws out the speedy Omar Moreno.
And before Foley's going to get a chance to bat, John McNamara is on his way out. Hume, who has been their ace out of the bullpen in the final third of the season, has been throwing, and he's going to go for him. So Tom Hume, who served up the 3-run homer to Stargell, in the opening game is going to be brought on here with the right-hand batting Foley due.
A chance to win one ball game. Manager Chuck Tanner, on the other hand, has got that little gleam in his eye.
Foley comes up empty, strike one. Hume has appeared in all 3 games in this playoff. Fly ball out into left center. Geronimo will run under it. Oh, he dropped the ball. And Garner's going to score, and Foley's going to be at second base. Holy Toledo. You think you've seen everything. That was a routine fly ball. They just gave us an insurance run.
Well, you never know, and this is why you run out every play. Geronimo coasted over. Hey, I got it, no problem. And whoops, right off the end of his glove. And of course, in doing so, Garner scores that insurance run, as you can see, right off the tip of his glove. He knew he had the ball, but just took it a little bit for granted, as you can almost never do any ball in this game. We got that big insurance run, and we have another runner in scoring position in the form of Tim Foley.
All right, Parker, the batter, facing the right-hander Hume. They haven't scored that play yet. Now they have. It's an error. I don't know what took them so long. It was so obvious. There's a bouncer right side. Morgan over, grabs, throws against the grain and gets Parker, and the side's retired. Good play by Morgan. But the Pirates get a run and are only 3 outs away from going to the World Series. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 big error on Geronimo, 1 man left. And so here we go. Blyleven with a chance to put us in the driver's seat. We'll go to the 9th inning with a score. Pirates 7 and the Reds 1. Well, the whole crowd is up. They're going to count it down. As we go to the 9th inning for the Cincinnati Reds, it will be Dan Dreesen, Ray Knight, and Cesar Geronimo against the right-hander Bert Blyleven. Now Tekulve is in the bullpen with Jackson. Ball 1. Dreesen's 0 for 3 today, 1 for 11 in the series. Fouled it off. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Blyleven trying to harness his enthusiasm. He's stalking the mound. He knows what he has. He's never been here before in this type of situation. Has his own destiny as control, and he's going for it.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls and a strike. Sometimes, and as you mentioned, rushing it a little bit. Right now, he wants to get himself regrouped. He doesn't want to let the moment overtake him here. Bouncer right side. Stargell fair ball. Flipped to Blyleven. 1 away in the 9th. Stargell way back of the bag, protecting that line and just letting the ball come right to him. Knew that he had time. Blyleven did his job. Got to the bag for the toss. And it's 1 away. 2 more outs is what we need. Knight, who's had a double, a single, and a fly ball to right. He's 2 for 3. Geronimo is on deck. Blyleven has gone all the way against 6 Cincinnati pitchers. Blyleven has bent maybe a little on a couple of occasions, but he has not broken. He's pitched a strong, steady ball game. Struck out 8. Walked nobody. Ball 1 tonight. They've been given permission, as I'm sure you can see, to go to their hand, keep it warm. Steve Reich, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chuck Tanner not ready to burst that bubble yet. But wait till he gets in that clubhouse and he'll be bursting the bubbly. 1-1. Steve Reich, 1-2.
You can bet that wide smile will go ear to ear from manager Chuck Tanner. He's never been here before, and his coaches, 32 years in the game, never been in this situation before.
Bouncer third. Madlock will fire. 2 away. Cesar Geronimo. Look at Blyleven. He can't hold it back either. He wants that out. He wants that complete game victory. The one that'll put the Pirates into the World Series. He is strung right now tighter than a banjo string.
His heart is pumping. I know. I've been there. You know that heart is pounding in that chest. He knows what he has.
Strike! 0-1.
Bert knows in the back of his mind, there certainly ain't no stopping me now.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, he's letting it go.
No sense waiting for it. He won't have to pitch until next Wednesday or Thursday. Now we're down to a strike. Outside, 2-2. Boy, this crowd is absolutely ready to tear Three Rivers down. 2-2 pitch. Check swing foul up into the seats on the left side. It ends the way it is now. Look, yeah, he's finally decided it's time to go into that charming smile of his. Oh, he did a great job managing this club. The crowd pulling for Blyleven to end it. Nobody on. 2 away. 9th inning. It's over. He strikes out Geronimo. His 9th strikeout of the game.
Defense today and timely hitting. We got him the runs when he needed them.
Well, the Pirates played it today just like they have all year. They just went out and did it. They were aggressive from the beginning. The minute Lacoste walked Moreno and opened a crack in the door, he stole a base and we went on from there. Stargell had a home run and a 2-run double. Madlock had a homer, and the Pirates have won the National League pennant for 79. And this total board tells it we were out hit 8-7. But won it 7-1. Bench had their only run, a home run. Blyleven went all the way in as thrilling a victory as he will have pitched in his career. I don't care about some of those games he pitched in the other league. He's going to have to put this one at the top of the list.
Put that right at the top of the list, and his wife is going to put that money in the top of her pocketbook.
Oh, is that the way it works?
I think so.
Yeah, you've been there, too.
Yes, sir.
Well, what a way to finish it. Holy Toledo, what a season. And how about those 79 Battling Bucs? Well, they're tearing up this field. I don't mean that literally because they're just celebrating down there. It looks like a big disco at Three Rivers. And the Pirates have won the flag. As usual, a number of heroes. The pitching, the timely hitting, and the defense did it. That was the script they followed all year. Why change it for the championship game? And so for Nellie Briles, this is Milo Hamilton. We're heading for the clubhouse. We'll be down there shortly. Let's join the celebration with Eddie Alexander and John Sanders. Let's go to the Pirate Clubhouse.
Eddie Alexander along with John Sanders. And John, I want to tell you something. We're going to try to get Bill Matlock over here again. We just had Bill a second ago, but the National League champions, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 1979, and it looks like a rematch of 1971 with Baltimore, depending on whether they can beat California or not.
Hey, I just remember one thing that was said before this ball game started. We're going to get him over here in a minute. Burt Blyleven said before the ball game he hoped he was the one jumping up and down on the mound at the end of the ball game, and he was. And we're talking about Burt Blyleven as Chuck Tanner comes in.
John, looky here. Chuck, congratulations.
Oh, thanks a lot. What a great bunch of men we have. They all contributed. It's just been a fantastic year, and now we're in the World Series, and we still have one more thing to do, and we'll work at it and give it all we have. And I said earlier, I'd have to say this, that, and I really mean it sincerely, the good Lord helped us. He was with us all the way, and everything worked just right for us. We had a Fellowship of Christian Athletes meeting before the game. It was just terrific.
Did you see the wives dancing on top of the dugout?
I thought that was great. I loved it.
John, who do you have over there? Congratulations again, Skipper. Way to go, buddy.
This is Phil Geiner, who in the third inning of this ball game made a heck of a play to cut off a run. And I think that one play, I remember that play, and I know you remember that play too.
Well, at that situation, it was a tight ball game, and we couldn't afford to let them get something on the board because it might give them a little breathing room and it might give them a little courage. So we had to keep them down. So I was going to try to catch that ball no matter what.
Yeah, I remember what you said Sunday after we won it. You said, this is my biggest thrill in baseball. That was Sunday. This is Friday.
It keeps getting bigger, John. It keeps getting bigger and better.
Terrific game. Great series. Let's go get them.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
John, here he is. Tim Foley. Come in the middle, Tim. Congratulations, big guy.
Thank you. It's great. Oh, man. Just great feeling. You know, it's unbelievable. We worked hard, we battled, we got some great pitching, and we won.
Let me ask you something. Did you see the wives all congregating on top of the dugout?
I went to Bert after they were dancing, and I said, Bert, if you were going to lose this game before, I said, you can't now because we can't come out here tomorrow.
Now, remember, he just said something. John Sanders just said something to Garner about saying last week, hey, that was my biggest moment. It keeps getting bigger, doesn't it?
It's unbelievable. You know, it's just we battle from day to day, get better and better, and it's just more fun every day.
One of my MVPs in the family, Tim Foley, and look at this scene over here with Burt Blyleven and the captain. Captain, of course, just voted the most valuable player of the playoff series, but you don't want to talk about that because family was on top of the locker room today.
Well, Eddie, if I received the award, I'm very warm and moved by it. And if I could chop it up in 25 pieces, that's the way it should be because it's been a total team effort all year. I'm just so happy that I'm part of this ball club, and hopefully we can just go to Baltimore and do the things we've been doing all year.
Look at this right here. What is
Willie
this?
Jr.
What is this? We are family. Yes, indeed. That's exactly what it is right here. Bert, let's get you in for just a second. Boy, I'll tell you, it's flying. Bert, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I thank the good Lord for everybody being healthy this year and had a tremendous year.
Just one pitch away from a shutout, but it doesn't matter, does it?
No, not with a 6-0 lead. You know, you just got to rear back and challenge them. I didn't want to walk anybody, and it turned out super.
I wore my Sunday go to meeting suit, but it doesn't look like it's going to last long.
Hey, got it. Hey, Bert, one more thing. Hey, Bert. Before the ball game, you said you wanted to be the guy jumping up and down on the mound at the end of the ball game, and you did. What does it really mean to you after your years in the major leagues to get this opportunity?
It's quite a thrill. You know, when Bench hit that home run, it was 6-1. I told myself, rear back, throw the ball because I want to be out here in the 9th inning. And when I struck out Geronimo, I saw Otter jump, and I jumped, and it's a super feeling. I haven't felt that good since 1969.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Eddie, as you pointed out, it looks like we could be going back to Baltimore.
That's
of course,
right.
that ball game is tonight, and we'll see what happens out there. But right now, I think the feeling in the locker room here,
let's take a look at this.
We'll get the trophy if we can.
Let's take a look at this trophy for just a moment.
This is the trophy. And this is the first year for the Warren Giles Trophy that goes to the winning team in the National League. And this year it's the Pittsburgh Pirates as we get ready to go back to the World Series for the first time since 1971. And I think, Ed, I don't know, you and I were both here on Sunday when they wrapped it up during the regular season. A little bit different atmosphere. They're excited, they're happy, but it's, you know, it's not quite the same. Would you say?
I would say that it's a little more subdued because of the fact they've got over the shock now of being in the playoffs. Now they're starting to look ahead to the ultimate goal at the end of the rainbow, which is perhaps a world championship. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're taking it a little calmer, even though they still have a champagne bottle in their hand.
Yes, they do. A terrific victory. The final score here today was 7-1. We hope you've enjoyed the locker room because we've enjoyed being here all the regular season, and we've got the third season to go. That's the World Series coming up, Eddie. Quick note, though, Milo Hamilton, come over for just a second before we wrap it up, because it appears the way the rules are this year on radio and television that was your last game of the season.
Well, evidently, it's kind of a downer. It's hard to believe, I suppose, with all the excitement, but I'm so happy for this club, for the Galbraiths and Pete Peterson and Chuck Tanner and all the players and all the coaches, and for the fans, but to know that it was my last game, it just is, I don't mean ever, but this season, because somewhere along the line somebody decided that the local announcers weren't going to do the World Series this year, and that is really, that's tough to take.
It is tough to take, and I know it's tough for you to talk about it also. And let's bring in Nellie for just a moment, because he was your sidekick in crime whenever there was television. And Nellie, your last game of the season, but boy, did the family have fun today.
Boy, it certainly did, and to be a player and participate in it is one thing, and then your first year announcing, you end up getting in a pennant race. It's exciting on both ends, and I'm really proud to be part of this package.
I just think that it wouldn't have been fair if we couldn't have got the announcers who have really helped to bring this family to its ultimate goal right here. Eddie Alexander, along with John Sanders, Milo Hamilton, Nellie Briles, and Lanny Fratteri up in the booth, probably still. We're going back to you.
You know, a lot of people think Billy and I argue all the time. Actually, we agree on just about everything, right, Bill?
You betcha, George.
We even drink the same beer.
Light beer from Miller. Light's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling.
And the best thing is it tastes so great.
No, George, the best thing is less filling.
No, Bill, it tastes great.
Less filling, George.
Billy, it tastes great.
Less filling, George.
Billy?
Yeah, George.
You're hired.
Not again.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Did I say hired?
And very appropriately, in the last game we came home and we saw on the top of your dugout the family. On the top of theirs, the Cincinnati Reds, and what a tribute there.
Yeah, it was a very good feeling to see everybody so happy here today. We come here, we wanted to try to wrap it up. They wanted to go any further, and it was a thrill to see the wives getting down and booging a little bit.
I still got chills when I think of the Grand Slam against the Philadelphia Phillies. What a big hit for your season, and of course one of the cappers for the whole season.
Well, that might have got everybody started, because we was a little down at one time. We got a little tired physically, and we come back, and the coach was 4 for 4, and I pinch hit and got lucky and hit a Grand Slam, and I seemed to get everybody started, and we just took it from there and just went on in.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, John. John, come on in just a moment and talk with Jim Bibby, because
thank you, Eddie. I remember how happy you were just last Sunday. You've got to be every bit as happy or happier now.
I think I went past that little interval at that time. I'm even more happier now than I was last Sunday.
You talked at that time about how long you've been working just to get to this point. Is there any way that you can describe the feeling you have knowing that you've got the World Series ahead of you?
I tell you what, when I pitched my no-hitter in 73 against Oakland, I thought that got to be one of the best feelings I've had in my Major League career. But, hey, it doesn't even compare to what we did today and what we're headed forward to.
What about a starting pitcher who's not in the ball game?